I don't know.
Alive or live?
You're
We're
live now.
We're live. Oh shit, I get so nervous when we go live. I don't know what to do.
You don't know what to do?
No, they're judging me, they're watching me, they're judging me, they're making fun of me, right?
I don't think so.
I think they're making fun of me. I gotta get it together. Okay, wait, we are.
What's up, Rude
What's up,
Mobility?
everybody?
Already? Man, we could all put welding masks on and sit here.
We could do that.
Didn't look like
What's up, Greg?
we're working.
How is everybody tonight? What's going on? It was a little rainy out tonight, so we figured we'll do the live from the shop, but I think we're gonna do our lives from here from now on. This is like pretty cozy.
What's going on, Corey?
Well, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah, yeah. I have to get a heater. We need heat for this place.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Dickie
It's
Farley,
Tennessee, it
Katie
doesn't get that
Best.
Oh,
Oh,
it
what's
gets
What's up,
20
James? Your brother's on, Tony.
Who's up?
James, your
My
brother.
normal James, what's going on?
What's up, Lucas? No
I have
nuts.
seen the teens here.
Kyle.
Maybe
James
even
Fife.
single digits once.
Donovan.
You haven't lived until you've worked in the teams.
Robert.
In New York.
Benicio.
Benicio.
What's going on? Billy from the USA, Michael Cook, Chris Roberts.
Well, we got a lot of people on.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of people on.
All the finest people on earth.
What's going on, guys?
That's how you know. That's how
finest
you can
people on
judge
earth.
who the finest people on earth are. They're on our live.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not judging me.
They're not judging you.
Yeah. So now, what were you just saying before we went on? Somebody wants to sue me for breach of contract?
You're your best troll.
Wait, wait,
See, I watched a couple of his videos.
Okay.
And he went on this big rampage about how, because Bottle Rocket wasn't turning in the 11s or in the 10s
tell me now.
at a quarter mile, that he wanted people to sue you for breach of contract because you didn't do it.
Who did I sign a contract?
That's not what contract. I don't know.
I mean, we're not quite finished with the car, isn't it? People should sue me.
It's
What's up,
how
Rome in
many
New
how many
Zealand?
cars do you have? 13 or something?
14?
14. You just got it. Oh yeah, you got the other. Oh, did you see the comment I left you?
No.
Oh, I left you a comment.
Oh, what?
What was that car you just got? It was a Dart. It was a.
66.
And that's 66, one of my favorite years.
It's parked on
So,
lots.
so 66 Dart, and you drove it away, and it was pretty nice, and I left a comment, it says, Tony, this is what I need. I gotta
Oh.
find something like that.
Did you? I didn't see that. You wanted that car?
I don't want your car. No, I mean, that would be, yeah, that's
I
an
love that
interesting
car.
car.
It's so mellow. It's so like purring, slant six, gentle 3-speed on the tree. It's like a time machine.
So I got about a year and a half of payments left on that Mazda.
All right.
It'll probably be shot by then.
Yeah, there already is shot.
So I'll have to go back and get a car from the 60s, because the car from the 2016s isn't gonna cut it.
You need a car from the 60s. Now, who's got an 1860s car we can get Buffer good?
Oh, there's so many, I've got a list of cars I want, and it just the right one will turn up, you know? 66 Dart would be okay.
Buff, everyone wants to know what you're drinking.
We found that
On the
next to a truck stop.
On the side of the road.
No, this is a mixed drink, there was Diet Coke in it, and then I also like, Mountain Dew, but I went to the Food Lion, and they don't, they don't have, well, they do have Mountain Dew, but they've got their own brand that they call it, Mountain Lion. So this is a big bottle of Mountain Lion poured into my Diet Coke. So
Sure,
that's
Buff.
a guy, that's a,
I'm not gonna judge you.
that's a Mojo Campo, mixed drink.
You don't have to make up crazy stories. I ain't gonna judge you.
Yes, it does, Anthony Muro.
Sorry, it actually tastes pretty good. There wasn't, I just thought I was pouring.
Breach of contract.
Breach of contract. There was very little Diet Coke in here, and it kind of darkened it. Sorry.
Can I get in on that?
What's that?
Suing
breach of
yourself?
contract?
Yeah.
You're
Sue
sue
yourself?
I mean, I might as well.
Oh, man.
Laugh out loud. What is this? I don't know,
Well,
Adam. What
I
is
went
this?
in his, to look at his, and he had like 12 views. Maybe it's 11.
I don't know, I gotta start watching his channel.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
You're drinking
crank.
gasoline.
He's a cranky old guy. Gasoline? You got a match?
What's up, Zero?
Zero, what's going on, brother man?
Funny. Okay, let's see.
I used to work with a guy who had those big gallon jugs like a milk container, and he put some kind of Kool-Aid in there. It was about the color of gasoline. So always going around drinking it, working at shop. You know? Really looked like he was drinking gasoline.
Adam wants to know, can you get me 68 dart fenders?
No, I actually need, well, we got it now. I'll
Right.
tell that story.
Yeah, you will tell that
I'll
story.
tell that
Whoa.
story.
That's the fender you gotta replace on the door, right?
The 67 needs fenders, but,
Oh, I meant on the orange one that you painted.
no, the fender's okay, it's that door.
It's a door, okay.
But I got a door now.
I remember it was up front there. It was something, right?
So what happened was, all right, where do we even start?
What story are you telling?
With the dart, the plain Z dart,
Which dart?
the plain Z dart.
You can start
The plain Z
yesterday
dart.
when we moved the cars. I guess, right?
Well, okay. The plan, I took a couple of weeks
Zip
off.
ties is on. Hang on. What's up, zip ties?
Zip ties, holy shit.
Zip ties.
He
I haven't
says,
seen him in a long
I've made
time.
many
Is
more
that
park
zip ties
guys.
and bias parts?
Zip tie,
Yeah.
that's the.
You know what?
zip
You
ties.
know, I never watched him till this week. And I watched one of his videos.
I thought he was American.
Well, he's a Canadian.
Yeah.
From way up there.
He says, I've made many more poor guys butthurt with your videos on how the new Hemis are junk. Thanks, bud.
No problem, man.
It was an interesting video. Now I'm hooked. I subscribed.
Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome. All right, so where do we go from this? Okay, getting my winter projects together, because once the weather hits here, there's really not much that goes on, so I'm trying to bring everything to one spot where we can just work on it over the winter. So we've got our Gambler 500 chassis out there and the Gambler 500 body over here, and I was going to bring the Plain Z Dart over here and work on that and Bottle Rocket at the same time. So what happened was we bought that car. This is going back about 7 years ago now, or thereabouts.
Something like that.
Was that? It was about
Something
7
like
years,
that,
right?
yeah, about that.
Okay. It was a complete car, right? I mean, 100% complete. But somebody had parked it like 20 years previously with bags of groceries in the trunk. Like the trunk was filled with groceries. You can't make this up. Do you still have pictures of that?
I think they're on my Facebook.
Okay.
It was bags of salt.
There was.
Boxes of salt in,
Oh, that's
in
not-
paper bags.
That's not so bad.
Oh, it wasn't so bad, huh?
It wasn't like
They rotted open.
It wasn't like hamburger and
Oh no, that stuff was in there too.
oh.
But there was a bag that had containers of salt. And the salt.
Multiple bags of
Multiple,
them. I don't know
yeah,
what they were
lots of
doing with all
salt.
that
So it went
salt.
through the trunk floor.
It ruptured, okay? So when we bought this car, literally everything from all of the floor pans, from the back of the front seat to the back bumper were missing. right?
Yeah, that's why you cut it up the way you did, because the car was a mess.
Right.
It wasn't
there was no
salvageable.
saving it. So I grafted in sections of metal where it needed to be, put the whole car together, and then we originally built that car for a Cars Illustrated magazine challenge. It was a $12.99 for $12.99 challenge. And it was us and Dennis Pitzenbarger, who's called Pizza Bagel, out in Seattle, and somebody else, I forget. And we were each supposed to build a car for less than $1,299 that was going to go $12.99 in a quarter mile. And this was based on a story that I did, or a series that I did back in the 1980s in Cars Illustrated magazine called $12.99 for $12.99, ironically enough. So, brought the car home, cut out as much rot as we could, welded in patches, and got the car ready to go. The magazine thing disappears. The magazine disappears. The challenge disappears. Now the car sits for several years. It sits here at the lot for a couple of years. It sits at the house for a couple of years. And yesterday, first time I'm moving this car to pressure wash it, get everything good to go, bring it here. So as I'm pressure washing out the interior, I hit the back corner of the car behind the seat, like where the rocker panel is, with the pressure washer, and the pressure washer went right through the metal. Oh, shit. So I reached underneath the car, and the section that the leaf spring attaches to and ties into the rocker disintegrated. Like you just grabbed it and it just broke up like potato chips. It just crumbled. So it's definitely not worth doing anything else with that car. So a guy that I know offered me a free 1970 Plymouth Valiant. It's all in pieces, but it's all complete. I just got to bring it back here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to strip the plain Z Dart and put that Valiant together, and we'll put our Slant 6, which is sitting over there, in that Valiant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Yes. So today we're down a car and then we're up a car.
Yeah, so no more Plan Z.
But it's still plain Z. It's just not that body.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Someone's adult called you out on Roadkill Extra about turning the pistons around.
What happened now?
Dolchik
Yeah.
called you out on turning the pistons around on Roadkill Extra.
How do we call me out?
I don't know.
I'm sure Steve does exactly the same thing.
I have no
That's
idea.
another thing your troll said.
What's that?
You took the cylinders out and turned them around.
What?
I said you took the cylinders out and turned them around.
I'm still waiting to be served papers now.
It's a sharp individual. You take cylinders out.
It takes all kinds of cookies to fill the bag, man.
All right. And Scotty Kilmer's moving to Tennessee.
I hear he's moving to Nashville.
Is he moving to Nashville?
Yes.
Really?
Scotty Kilmer is moving to Nashville.
Nashville.
This is what I understand.
He's had all the, he has kind of clickbait kind of
Yeah.
things. And it's always like, I'm quitting, this is the end of my business, I'm moving on, and so after a while, that just becomes background noise. But he's actually gonna do it.
He's actually going to do it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, his kid lives here. And he's moving out of Texas. and coming back out.
He's got a sticker on his bumper that says, what the heck, it has something, 101st Airborne, which is
That's Clarksville.
Clarksville,
Yeah.
where I am. So, so I thought he served there, maybe his son's.
His son's probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So Scotty, if you're watching this, or if you know Scotty or anything like that, welcome to Nashville, man. As soon as you get here, look us up. I'll give you the tour, take you out for food, and, fellow YouTuber.
Let's see. You should try out Scotty's Toyota.
He had a new Toyota, didn't he?
Does he?
That red, what's the sports car? That red thing with kind of round top.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
fast.
still trying to get over
Fast
the
car.
lawsuit.
Yeah, you're
There's no lawsuit.
Maybe there is.
Oh my goodness.
Breach of contract's important.
and he lives in Massachusetts, so there's a whole interstate problem there. I don't know how you do
Over
that.
state lines, that could be like a Mann Act thing, right?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's trying to get me for white slavery too somehow. Mann Act.
Gee.
Let's see. Ethan says, I'm working on my senior year mechanical engineering design project. Got any advice on designing a diesel engine? Laugh out loud.
Oof.
A
Maybe
diesel's like kind of.
It's hard to design anything for a
one
diesel.
once. Well, yeah, I mean
it's-
that was worked out over 100 years ago, probably 150.
Yeah, they perfected that about 125 years ago. So it's like, it's hard to, geez, I don't know.
Ryan,
Benz and his wife in 1888 drove this thing all over the place, and
Yeah.
while everybody else is still on horses.
Ryan says
Amazing.
Scotty's moving to Clarksville.
That's close enough.
Oh, that's where I live.
You can
He's
do
gonna be
lines
my
for
neighbor.
him.
Wow.
Let's see.
When I first started watching him, I saw that 101st Airborne. I thought maybe he was in Clarksville, but it's Texas.
When will you be sewing the interiors for the two cars you painted?
Sewing the interiors.
Actually, the Swinger has a really nice
So it has a
interior.
nice interior.
No rips or tears or anything.
Have you ever done upholstery work?
No, but I gotta do something on Bottle Rocket.
Oh,
In
I
fact,
think I tried, and that me with a sewing machine that's not where I belong. You know?
The interior is really nice on that car, the seats are really nice, but in between, like, the pleats, it's ripped in between the pleats, but the
See, you need
pleats still
somebody,
hold it.
you need somebody to put a panel in there.
Yeah, I don't care if it's perfect or not, just as long as the original material can stay intact.
Let's see. Have you noticed with the Ram Chargers that they're either restored and expensive or scrap metal?
Yes, yeah, there's very little in between,
Yeah, we saw a lot of them at like dealerships, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. They were super high priced. Any tips on finding top dead center when you're by yourself?
I only know how to find top dead center when I'm by myself.
Unscrew the spark plug a little bit and then turn the engine when you hear it go, you're almost there.
Well, I don't know if that's, okay, that's finding top dead center if you're gonna drop the distributor, so you don't need like real accurate top dead center right there.
Oh, it gets you close, you know you're on the
Yeah.
compression stroke.
But I did a video, I don't
Okay.
remember what it's called, but we're talking about timing marks. And
Okay.
how to, okay, if you search our videos, we did this probably maybe 8 months, a year ago or thereabouts.
Was it that long ago?
Probably.
Man.
And it's
Okay.
about timing marks. And in that video, I tell you how to do top dead center by yourself with no tools or anything like that. To double check, like, the top dead center marked on your damper is actually top dead center. So see if you can find that video, I'll probably answer your question for you.
How do you know if you're on the compression stroke or on the, or 360 degrees out? That's why I do the little thing with the plug, and then I know I'm almost there, and then I line up the timing marks.
Well,
But maybe I'm wrong.
do you have the valve cover off?
Oh, no.
See, I watched the rockers.
Oh, okay.
I watched the rockers. So
What I always do is make sure that one.
here's the
one-
easiest way, okay? If you've got a V8, right? If you've got a 1843657 V8, so Chevy, Chrysler, Pontiac, any of them, right? Can't do this with a Ford. Although you can do it with a Ford, just not the way I'm telling you to do it. So if you got a Chevy, any common 1843657 firing order motor, take the valve covers off, rotate the motor, watch number 6. When you see the intake and the exhaust open exactly the same amount, split overlap at number 6, that's top dead center compression stroke of number 1 cylinder. Did you know that?
I do now.
Yeah, you do.
It seems to me
Yeah,
I
you
watched
do.
that in the video.
Yeah.
See, because I always had Fords. I didn't always have Fords. I had a lot of Fords.
Well, it would work with a Ford too, but not that relationship between 1 and 6.
Right. So 1 and 6 doesn't
Right,
work.
right. But like is any engine, any 1843657 engine, the relationship between 1 and 6 is that when 1 is top dead center compression, number 6 is top dead center exhaust, and vice versa. And you can always tell top dead center exhaust because both the intake and the exhaust valves are going to be open exactly the same amount. That's split overlap. That's also dot to dot.
In Australia, does the distributor turn
You have to do it
backwards?
upside down.
Does the distributor turn backwards?
Only if you're standing on your head.
Okay.
Dakota wants me to acknowledge his existence.
Of course.
Hey,
What's up, Dakota?
Hey, Dakota. Where are your videos? Every time I go in your channel, it's like just gas. There's nothing there.
Nothing there. Not making
I
videos yet?
want to see a video of you at the beginning of your Trans Am or something. Man.
He's slacking off. I was expecting him to be a big YouTube star by now.
Yeah, get it started.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sue him for breach of contract.
Breach of contract.
Yeah.
He told us he was going to do
He
this.
told me he was gonna do YouTube.
Maybe he just came in. He doesn't know about the breach of contract.
Damn it, Dakota, you little punk.
Brussels sprout chicken mafia. Yeah, the chickens ate all our Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yeah, another breach of contract.
What else did we do?
Where's the cheese channel?
Oh,
Dogs eating cheese. We've been so busy with other things.
do you know what?
We're gonna start doing Facebook. Listen, we're gonna start doing Facebooks. We're gonna be doing like short Facebook videos every day. So
Really?
yes,
Okay.
because we gotta conquer all forms of media. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
we're upgrading everything.
We're upgrading everything. We're
It's
stepping
2
up.
years now,
Even these
so.
banners gotta come down, these banners have gotta come down now, these spaces are for rent.
They're for rent.
Yeah. Not the American flag, that never comes down, that's,
Okay.
Old Glory right there, but yeah. These spaces, these walls, everything are for rent beginning January. Don't laugh,
I'm laughing.
this is how.
We don't wanna
it
breach
is.
You only
any
have one
contracts.
flag. You don't have a Tennessee flag.
I have a Tennessee flag in my garage of the house. You know?
Yeah.
Michael Smith says, love your videos. I didn't know until recently that you were near Nashville. I live in Nashville. It would be cool to meet you sometime. Anyway,
Well-
keep posting the quality content.
We're in Murfreesboro, I mean, I pass through Nashville all the time, just wave if you see me.
You know, I went through Nashville night, it was a nice night going through there. Nobody going like 90 miles an hour, just nice flow of traffic, everybody's being nice.
So,
Just a nice night to cruise through
Yesterday, what was that kid's name from yesterday?
Oh, the kids that came?
Yeah.
I didn't know, because I just ran in the house
Oh,
and got the
somebody
shirts
came
and,
I'm on my way up here, right, last night, and I stopped at the racetrack.
there. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I stopped at the racetrack, get a cup of coffee. So I get in the car and I sit down, right, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a guy going like this. A kid, I'm like, yeah. He says, you're Uncle Tony. I'm like, yeah. He says, holy shit. He says, we're just going from Kansas down to SGMP for the Sweet 16 they're running down there this weekend. So, yeah, that's the crazy thing with YouTube. Like, you just be like doing your life, and I was like, these people just come out of the blue. So, yeah, we brought them to the house. We gave them a couple of stickers, hats, T-shirts, and stuff
Really?
like that. So we're being represented down there at SGMP this weekend. I hope you guys did all right.
let's see, Danny Boyd says, can you explain any pitfalls of flux core welding versus MIG welding?
Yes, I almost exclusively flux core now. The only time I don't is when something has to be sealed, like for instance, if you're doing a tank of some sort, if you're doing an oil pan, you're doing a gas tank, you're doing anything that has to be liquid tight, watertight or airtight, you don't ever want to use flux core. Because even though it's an excellent weld, there's still a tendency for porosity. So, I mean, you can, if you're really super careful, and I'm not that careful, and I'm not that good of a welder, if you're really super careful, you can make a non-porous bead with flux core, but that's the only downside of it. I weld everything. I've even welded cracked cast iron with the flux core. The advantage to flux core, aside from the fact that you don't have to deal with the tank, and it's portable anywhere, anytime, and that's what hooked me on the stuff, is that it burns a tad hotter than MIG does. So you can do things, like I said, I've welded cast iron with it, and successfully. So, in fact, one of the things I want to try is I want to weld quench chambers into a head. I want to use the flux core, and I want to take a cylinder head. And that's one of the reasons why I need to get a Sinus 6 together, real quick, right, that we can mess around with. Because I want to experiment with welding quench chambers into a cylinder head with the flux core.
And then when you machine it back out?
Machine it down, have it flattened out. I want to see if that can be done. I want to see if it can be done successfully.
I've got flux core wire, because every machine I've had, first thing I do is I take that out.
Really? I'll
Put it
take as much as
somewhere.
you can.
Now I'm thinking, maybe I need to put it back into one of my welders and try it.
I got a ton of welding to do on that chassis out there. We should show them the chassis.
Death Site 99 sent you $5. I
Thank you.
missed it. He's saying that Scotty has a Supra. Alive with Scotty and Tony would rock.
And that's the new.
Sorry about
Supra,
that,
yeah.
that's
I guess
like
what
99,
that
thank
is,
you.
that red
We
Supra.
should let's go out here for a minute. Let's show them
It's
this.
dark.
It's very dark.
I got a light.
All right, get your light plugged in.
Okay. You guys,
I have one of those.
do you have one?
Exact same light.
Yeah, but I have mine here.
What are you showing them?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
mine's,
show them the chassis.
I have
Where
two
is
of
it?
those.
Right there.
Oh, it's dark. I can't even see it.
Oh, stop.
okay.
Come on.
What is that?
This is for our.
All right, guys. We're gonna take a walk.
It's like a wreck.
Give you guys a preview of one of our winter projects here.
Oh,
There you go. see that?
I
Yep.
see it.
Okay.
Is that for that car?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is our Gambler 500 chassis.
Can you see it, guys? Is it coming in clear? I'm trying not to shake too much.
Yeah. So, and I'm absolutely in love with this. Look at this front end.
Hang on.
Is that the
What?
most classic looking front end
Oh,
ever?
I like that.
I'm
Simple.
walking slowly.
right?
What is this?
It's a 1971 D100.
71, okay.
Yeah.
Man, they
And
still
it's-
make stuff like this in 71.
Yeah, isn't this amazingly beautiful? I'm literally absolutely
I'm gonna
in
walk
love
in
with
front.
Go
this
ahead, walk in
chassis.
front.
This was courtesy of our buddy Jim Bennett, Jim Bennett's Hot Rods, and he had this laying out behind his shop. And I was like, "What are you doing with that thing?" He was like, "You want it?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "It's yours." So I ran up and I grabbed it. So
Everything's just right out. And
isn't this great? This is perfection. This is perfection. This is the most perfect chassis I've ever seen in my life. So what we're going to do with this is so let's see. Here's the back of it. Okay. So it's got 8 3/4 in it. You know. All right. We're gonna, obviously we're gonna keep that.
A little blurry.
So here's what we're doing. Here's this car. Come over here. Can you see this?
is this where you got the glass?
Trying.
Okay. So we have this Valiant right here. It's a 68 Valiant. Okay. And what we're doing is we're cutting all of the floors out, clearing the back bumper, and then we're going to channel this body down.
Oop. He left me, guys, with the light.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
We're going to channel that body down over this chassis, so it's not sticking way the hell high up in the air. And we're going to shorten the chassis. That's a 108-inch wheelbase, and this is a 128-inch wheelbase. So we're taking 20 inches out of the frame right here. We're going to shorten it up, drop that body down on top of it, and then I was originally going to build a small block for this. I was going to build a Magnum-headed small block, and I says, no, you're doing too much small block stuff, so we're going to do a big block. I got a 383 sitting in there, so we're going to build a big block for this thing, and then we're going to build ourselves a fast, fun off-road car.
Okay.
So this is one of our major winter projects. And I got 2 other guys that work out of the same lot over here.
And Jim Bennett's going to help you, right?
John and Breon, they're gonna help with this thing, and Jim Bennett he wants to get involved with it too. So this is what we'll be building over the winter.
Okay.
Is there
One of
20?
the-
Is there
one of the
20
cars
inches?
will
Are
go
there
there.
20 inches there?
Yeah, it's exactly 20 inches between here and here. This kick up right here.
So that'll just match right up.
It'll match up perfectly, and then I'll be able to take that body and just drop it right down over the chassis. The wheels will fit right where they're supposed to fit. It'll have a Jeep kind of look to it. I don't want this big crazy.
What's this
ungainly
chassis
monster truck
from?
thing. 1971 D100 pickup.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah,
this
I
is-
like this.
How could you not? It's beautiful. This is what chassis is supposed to be. Look at this front end. The axle has the sexiest drop to it.
A little blurry. Let's see. I'm trying to get it from this side.
Look at that.
Good old I-beam.
Right?
I-beam. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. I want to build a gasser out of one of these now.
I guess.
Seriously, man. So,
This weight.
yeah, that's one of our, it barely weighs anything. I mean, it's hard to move right now because it's on gravel,
Yeah.
but it's actually a lot lighter than it looks. So, but yeah, there's our winter project. And we're gonna go,
I'm a little blurry. Hang on. Let me catch up to you.
okay.
Okay.
And we're gonna build this 383 right here. So, and it'll be just like a standard high performance 383 build, you know. And out of all the engines, the 383 is my absolute favorite. We're gonna do a video very soon on just the 383 because that people are like, oh, Hemi, oh, 6-pack and all this other shit. You know, no, the whole Chrysler performance reputation was built on that engine right there, the 383, because that was the one. There were millions of us, and literally millions of them out there, and that was the one that was just too tough to kill. that's what powered all the Roadrunners and Super Bs and not the GTs, the 383 Darts and all that. So, yeah, that's the motor that's gonna go in that thing.
Just went and watched the episode where Freiberger and Dolce called you out on the piston thing. Rotation idea. I don't know, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen this either. Somebody send a link to this. Do you have?
Oh,
What
go
is
ahead,
this?
look it up on your phone. Roadkill Extra.
Is that
You're
on
probably
YouTube?
watching right now.
Is that on YouTube?
I don't know.
Or is it on Motor Trend?
I have no idea.
Freiberger, Steve, you watching this? No, if you are, say something.
What am I looking for?
Roadkill Extra.
Yeah. It's on Motor Trend. Okay.
Oh,
Rocky
I
Myers
can't
is
get
saying
it
it's
on
on
my
Motor
phone.
Trend. We don't
My
have
Motor
that.
My Motor Trend expired, I gotta go.
Well, no, just because it's on Motor Trend doesn't mean that it's their
Who's the
exclusive.
guy that's suing?
Oh, that's the guy, right?
That's the guy.
That's Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says you work in a storage locker.
So,
Because he's from
And
Massachusetts.
it doesn't work anywhere.
Oh, he doesn't do anything.
Right.
Well, he makes videos.
He knows it all. Says you don't do anything. You don't get anything done. And he
How many
sits there and he.
How many subscribers does he
Oh,
have?
it says you gotta pay more to get the extra. They said any journalist or former journalist who wants to prove them wrong is welcome to do so. Oh, really?
Now, what is this now?
Wait.
I'm getting challenged by,
Roadkill. Okay. Bodgemeister says, they said any journalist or former journalist who wants to prove them wrong is welcome to do so.
what am I proving them wrong about?
I have no idea because we didn't see it.
Now, you gotta understand something about this flipping the piston thing, right? I did not make this up. This is directly from the Chrysler Racing Manual. It covers all of the engines. The big block, the small block, the slant six, the original direction.
Cat fight,
Racing Manual.
meow.
What's that?
They're saying cat fight, meow, shots fired.
As I was saying, I didn't make this piston thing up. I read about this when I was 15 or 16 years old, and I've literally done it on every single engine I've ever built for myself.
And you read about it. It came from Chrysler.
It came from Chrysler. This was Chrysler engineers saying, turn the pistons around. And I've always done that. The only engine I've never done that with is a Hemi, because you can't do it with a Hemi. Anyway, the Hemi's got doesn't have any offset to the piston.
Yeah, that'd be worthless.
What's up, Fubar? Thank you, Fubar.
I want to know exactly what they said.
I don't know, we would have to pay for Motor Trend.
I'm not paying for Motor Trend.
Motor Trend. You don't have Motor Trend. I just accidentally let it go. It's $5 a month. It's not even $5.
They say it's $2 extra. I don't know. Let's get this fight started. John Wilburn, can you look it up? Do you have Motor Trend? Somebody that we know, look it up so we can see it. It's tough when people say stuff that you can't see. Because we don't want to get off that $5 a month.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're cheap like that.
Yeah.
That's the best $5 I spent. You know why?
Why?
Just get- Well, first of all, Engine Masters. That's why I did it. But the rest of it, there's a lot of stuff there. And I don't have cable TV anymore because I paid $5 for Motor Trend.
Well, Engine Masters is definitely a good show.
All I watched on cable was automotive stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty much.
it was like $200 a month.
James Martin
Gone.
says, tell UT that Freiberger was a fan of yours when you wrote in the magazines. He said so on Carcraft.
When did Freiberger say that?
I have no idea.
Carcraft.
Carcraft?
I have never met David. We've run in the same circles, but I was ahead of Freiberger probably by about 10 years. I think I was in the business, I got into the business in like 1985, and I think he was about 10 years later, around 1995 or so.
Are you still a former automotive journalist now? Are you still a former one? Because you do this every day?
Journalist
Well-
because you're on here.
Yeah, really, what are you gonna call me a former automotive journalist?
It's like
You know-
telling you somebody that's on CNN or Fox News or something is a former journalist because they're not typing into a newspaper anymore. They're on TV.
Yeah, this is journalism.
Joe
It sure
Wilburn
is.
says, Direct Connection Service Bulletin number 8, October 1975.
Thank you.
Wow. John Wilburn pulled that up?
Yep.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't make this stuff up. Now, I do know, okay, so here's.
You never
How
said
do
you made
find
it
that
up.
so quick?
Here's something, all right, so I'll give them a rebuttal here, okay? I'll give them a rebuttal here.
A rebuttal.
Yeah, and then you could like, because as a former.
But you
journalist-
don't really know what they said. And
Well,
that's
I
just
do know what they
hearsay.
said. Wait, I do know what they said already, because I know what happened. They took an engine, they flipped the pistons around, they put it on a dyno, and looked for a difference in peak numbers.
Well, how do you know that that's what happened if you didn't see
Because the
episode?
only way you could ever dispute how that works is by only going by peak numbers. And it will not change the peak numbers. It changes the way the motor attacks. It changes the way, like for instance, give you an example, okay? Let's say you've got a 3,000 RPM converter, right? And it flashes 2,800. You'll get the full 3,000 out of it by flipping the pistons around. Does that make any sense?
I think so. If you came from Chrysler Engineers, and you've been doing it all this time,
Yeah, it doesn't change peak power because it doesn't affect the engine's ability to breathe.
Bob Me says we were reversing turning pistons around backwards to reduce friction back in the 70s. What's the big deal?
Well, you gotta make controversy.
Are we making controversy?
Yeah, it doesn't change peak numbers at all. It changes the way the motor, it changes how aggressive the motor hits the pipe, right? If that makes any sense.
Okay.
And you can absolutely, positively feel it in the seat of your pants. I know this because I've done it countless times over the years. Where I'll have one of our cars, and I'll just do a quickie re-ring, and then while I'm at it, flip the pistons around, and you can absolutely, positively feel the difference in the way that thing hits.
Moparnut62 says it's Roadkill Extra episode 1086. So he knows the episode number.
Okay.
All right. You got that, Buff?
Well, did they just come out with this, or is this?
I guess so. I guess they just did it. I mean, it must be new because people would have said it last week or the week before. We weren't on last week. We were both sick.
roadkill extra.
Episode 1086. Let's see. So John Wilburn is quoting from the book. Factory pistons have the pin offsets reduce piston slap. By reversing the offset, reversing the piston, engine friction can be reduced.
There you go.
Okay. Huh. Which one of the videos covers turning, rotating the pistons? Is that an old video? Did we take that
I think
down?
it's an old video that, we've been purging older videos. Because it's totally cringeworthy.
It's terrible.
Cringeworthy. But as long as they keep getting views, you keep getting paid, don't you?
Yeah, some things aren't worth the money. They're really bad. You gotta understand, we started doing this 2 years ago, and before that, I had never even considered doing videos. Like, it never even crossed my mind. It was just like, you know? So, Uncle Kathy, it was her idea to do this.
Sorry.
That's all right, no, it's, you know. Well, at least now we get called out by big shots on corporate,
Right.
you know. So, it's my dream.
Is that your dream?
So, I had no idea what to do. I had really no idea what to do. So, and I couldn't deliver more than a sentence without freezing up or stuttering or anything like that. So we used to do these videos that were like a minute long that had like 7 or 8 edits.
Yeah, lots of cuts.
Lots of
And it gets
cuts.
shorter?
He
Yeah,
could
it
barely
was
spit out a
minute-long video, and it was
sentence.
like I screamed a sentence because I didn't know how to talk. Like I didn't know how to talk on camera. I couldn't be myself. And I had
He
to,
was more than camera shy. Believe it or not.
And my ADD would
And he
kick
couldn't
in.
talk.
You just gotta do what you're doing, like that, well, of course, I carry it too far, like the night we're way in the car,
You know,
like I'm talking off somewhere and my butt's up in the camera, it's like, hey, we're doing a video, oh, yeah, but I mean, just do what you do,
so,
Tony needs to do more coloring videos.
coloring.
Yeah.
You know, your paint job came out good.
it's got a lot of orange peel, and the passenger side front fender is not good. But I'm happy with it. It's at the house now, it's stuck in the backyard.
The color's right, it looks stock enough.
The color
It's-
is really nice.
It's not, it doesn't look like it doesn't belong.
It
It's
actually looks black sometimes.
black
Yeah.
sometimes. Oh, so
Parts
it's
of it looks
iridescent
black.
kind of thing. That's nice.
It's beautiful.
in the car. Man.
You did a good job, Tony.
Thank you.
Former journalist.
Oh,
Former
well, car painter.
Well, you're a journalist
They
now.
think
When
they
you
do
were-
car painters, right?
You were a journalist. Did you like on a typewriter or were you like on a computer?
Oh, I was on a typewriter, it was before.
Oh, my
computers.
God.
I was like the last of the typewriter guys.
That's like from the dark ages.
Yeah.
I used to use one of those.
Is it, let's see, is it
Then I wanted
possible?
to sell it when I was done. It was worthless. Typewriter became garbage.
When here's a former journalist.
No, you're a journalist. You're just a video journalist.
One of the guys who is one of the people who follows the industry. This is way back when. This is back around 1998, 1999, something like that. We were talking on the phone, and he was like, I've been keeping track. I added it all up. He says, do you know that you are the most published automotive journalist currently in history? He says, what do you mean? He says, you've had your byline on more stories in more magazines. And you see, I worked for a lot of obscure magazines too. There was like High Performance Pontiac and Vet and Muscle Car, and I did new car previews of like 1986.
Man, I remember those
1987.
magazines.
I did, in addition to like the usual stuff, Cars Illustrated.
You did one-offs too.
I did
Lots
tons
of
of
one-offs.
one-offs. I mean, like, yeah, for different publishers. Which a one-off is where they test on a magazine. There's an idea for a magazine, put one together, and they put it out. I did, oh God. In addition to the stuff I was doing for Superstock and for, just all these freaking magazines. But I had, at that point, I had something like 600 published stories. Because at the time, when I started doing this in the 1980s, when I started back in the magazine business in the 80s, I would bang out literally a feature a day, like a full-length feature. I'd sit down at the desk and bang shit out. And then I would do like a car feature afterwards and bang that out. So it
You're a
was like,
really fast writer.
yeah, like every
Like
day
people
I was
struggle to
putting-
write things, but you can just like blow it out.
I worked in the 1980s and 1990s when I was doing this. I worked 6 or 7 days a week, and I produced at least one full-length feature every day, and sometimes 2 or 3 of them. There was one time we did a magazine called, what was the name of it? You don't know. You don't know. I'm asking you. You weren't there. Uncle Kathy, what
Yes.
was the magazine we did at the kitchen table? We did a one-shot.
Recently, it's in the video.
1980s.
It's a-
Recently.
It's a copy of it, of Anthony A.S. Miller flipping
Okay.
through it in that video that we posted.
Okay.
Do you remember which one it was? Because you said, oh, that's the one we did at the kitchen table when you
Yeah.
watched the video.
We did a magazine, and it's out there. It's actually the guy A.S. Miller
yeah.
did
Anthony
a video.
Miller. We posted it. It's on
We
our
posted it
community.
on the community. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the name of this magazine. What's help me? This is the truth. Okay. Back then, there's 4 computers. We worked out of file cabinets, and what would happen was the photographers would go out and shoot. They would go to shows or races, whatever they go to, and they would shoot every car that they came across. Just like, it didn't have to have anything special about it. It just needed to catch the photographer's eye. This was like the normal thing in this business. And then those would all end up in a file cabinet. And when we were ready to do a magazine, we did our major features, like the things that, how to build a rear end, whatever it happened to be, right? And then in between, you needed to fill it out with car features. So we would go to the file cabinet, pick something that kind of fit the balance, and then bang out a quick story about that based on a text sheet. And that would go to the magazine. So Neil and I, Neil Van Obry, Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords. You probably know him from that. So it was the usual deal, we needed money, right? We had spent all our money on our cars, going to the track, and we needed money, right? So publisher offered us $6,000 to do this one shot. So we took it up, sure, fine, let's do this thing. So what we did was, we grabbed a bunch of these features out of the file cabinet from CSK. And we went to my kitchen table, and we sat down, it was like 7 o'clock at night, and we sat down, the two of us, with these boxes full of pictures, and we wrote stories to every single one of those picture folders, and put it together in a magazine. In one night, from like 6 o'clock at night till like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Just go.
Just go, right? And we sat there, he was
Yep.
on one side of the table, I was on the other side of the table,
Typing.
banging away
all
as
night.
fast as we could on a fucking typewriter. Yeah, okay, another story, done, right? All right, how many more we gotta do? 15 more, no problem. Bang, another one.
I don't know how you did that with a typewriter. Because, I don't know, it happened with me in the early 90s. I went all the word processing on with Word or something. You can make all the mistakes in the world. You can fix them.
Yep.
You do that with a typewriter.
Yeah,
There's
no.
no fixing it. It's just, you gotta get it
And I
right
never
the
knew how to
first
type,
time.
I still don't know how to type, I still go like this. I still, how to unpack, right? So at any rate, we did this entire magazine, cover to cover. Every line, every word, literally every single, every period that's in that entire magazine, we did in one night.
All the
sitting at my
blurbs, the
kitchen table.
captions.
I grabbed her, I grabbed up the package, I ran to Manhattan the next morning, well, that morning, like we finished it, I jumped on the train and on the ferry, I ran out to Manhattan, dropped it off, got the check, and
Eli
that.
for Cars sent you $2.99. He says to come collab with Monster Rust at our shop in Texas.
thank you.
Let's see. Oh, Hemi Life sent you $20. You
Thank
were
you.
amazing.
Wow.
Thank you, Hemi Life.
No bearing yet.
John Wilburn sent $5.11. Reverse Piston Defense Fund.
Yes, thank you. I wonder if they're gonna sue me for the reverse piston.
Oh,
thing.
brother.
You got me all paranoid. I'm all paranoid now.
Why would you get sued for that?
Breach of something.
Contract.
I had to breach something.
Of course, you're that guy,
Oh,
he
my
said
goodness.
that you moved the cylinders, which is quite a trick.
You moved the cylinders, Tony.
Change the cylinders from side to side.
Well, we got this thing here.
Why?
We got Battle Rocket.
Yeah.
There was that whole thing about, we broke the axle. So we broke the axle, lost the wheel. People were like, how the hell did you drive the car, right? I gotta show you guys something.
Roadkill should pay you for the plug.
Motor trend. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I broke the axle on this
Hang on, I
thing,
gotta focus. I'm walking, sorry guys, I'm walking around with the tripod.
when I broke the axle on this thing, right? I didn't know that I had lost the wheel because the car wasn't dragging on the ground. This, you can see right here, here's the bottom of the brakes. They're finally, obviously the drum came off with the wheel and the axle. But you could see, this thing wasn't even dragging on the ground. Like I had no indication that I had lost the wheel. So the wheel come off the car. And I was like, gee, I thought it broke a spring. That's what it felt like to me. Because the car just, when I come off the clutch, the car just like jumped up and got sideways a little bit, and then it just rolled along. It was like fine. And you can see here, I drove this thing from the starting line all the way to the end of the shut-off, and then back to the pits, all the way back to my trailer. And you can see, it didn't even grind away at the bottom of the brakes. So anybody who is wondering how I managed to drive this car a half a mile without a wheel on it and didn't realize, well, there you go. There was no indication that I had lost a wheel.
Do the Dulcic challenge. Don't back down. I don't know what challenge there is. Someone's gonna have to show it to us. We don't know. We're very sheltered. We don't know what goes on. All right. Let me my battery pack. Okay, let me see. Where are we? Where there's not a wheel, there's a way. Yeah.
It was literally the bonehead move of my life. I've done a lot of stupid things. That's like right up there with them. But in my defense, the car just rolled along fine, like there was nothing wrong with it. I'm like, the car's rolling good, let me just keep going, you know? And that was it.
Smoky Dog is on. Slaps hand over face in shame about the not noticing a missing wheel.
Dude!
No,
look at
you
it.
know, I was watching it through the camera, and honestly, all the car did was get a little bit sideways.
Yeah,
It wasn't like, oh man, the wheel came off. Like it wasn't something that was crazy noticeable as I was watching it. And like I saw him slowing down, and I was like, what is going on? So I can see how you wouldn't realize that it was the wheel.
yeah, she shot a video of it. People are like, why didn't you show the video? She shot video.
But
it
I was on the other side of the car.
And you can't see that anything is wrong. It's just the car just.
Yeah, it
and
looks
you-
like it goes to
car
the
kinda
side a
went
little bit.
sideways.
It looks
Yeah.
like you broke traction and you went sideways. That's exactly what it looked like.
From inside the car, right, when I popped the clutch, all I felt was a bang, right, like this, just like bang, and the car got sideways a little bit, but then it just kept rolling along fine. And I was even, I'm saying to myself, well, just get back into it, you know, because, okay, so it's got a broken spring, let's see what it's gonna do. And I said, nah, let me just limp it back and I'll, you know, we'll come back another time. And so, like I said, that was the only thing that kept me from, I was like,
And
this
I
close.
didn't know until I heard people like yelling and laughing, and then they were pointing towards the starting line, and I was like, what's going on? So I turned the camera and I look, and then I saw the wheel.
Yeah,
But I didn't know, if not for the crowd.
it was crazy.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have known that that's what happened.
Driving the car, you absolutely never would have known that it was missing a wheel. Like I would have suspected.
I guess because it's light. It's light in the rear end.
Well, the way it's balanced out, I've got the air shock on the right side, which holds up on the right side of the car, and the way the torsion bars are adjusted, this wheel right here it has the least amount of weight on it. So the car is balanced in such a way. Any other wheel it lost, it would have just dug into the ground. But because it lost this wheel right here, it just rolled along fine. It was like, well, nothing feels weird. Just the car sitting on an angle a little bit. It must have broke a spring. So I just drove it back. And you can see, like I said, you can see by looking at the brakes, it didn't do any damage.
Eli for Cars sent you $4.99.
Thank you.
He says, how do I go about getting UT here to Texas for a collab at our garage with our channel Monster Rust? Any way to contact y'all and discuss? What do I need to do?
Oh, bro, I don't have time to go to Texas. I can send Buff. You've got all the time
You
in
want
the
to go
world.
to
You're
Texas,
retired.
Buff? Smoky Dog's behaving. Thank you, Smoky Dog. What's up, Lazy A-Hole Ranch?
I'm not sure I'm full of the knowledge that you are.
Well, you can call me.
Come on,
You can call me and I'll give you the knowledge.
Where did the wheel end up? It was on the
In the
starting
back of my
line. It was
car.
just, yeah, it was just like right past the starting line. And I walked around and I grabbed it and rolled it, met Buff, and we threw it in his trunk. It's very heavy. That's a heavy wheel,
Took
Tony.
two of us to live.
That's a heavy wheel.
It was the wheel, the axle,
Yeah.
you know, the drum.
Drum.
And
Right.
people just watching me roll the slick with the wheel and the axle, and they're just looking at me, and I'm like, oh, embarrassing. Just give me my wheel and let me go home.
It's an awkward thing with an axle and.
It's hard to roll with the
heavy,
axle.
weird.
You had to be there.
And I'm like, I don't know.
I'm not
where
a
you-
big person
And I'm
either.
driving down there and it's like, I don't know where you are, or something, I texted it to you. And I look over there, I see you struggling with this
Struggling with
thing.
the,
I go,
right,
"Oh,
I
see
know.
it."
And I had the camera around my neck, so that was banging on me. I was like, oh man. But I'm okay with being embarrassed. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I'm used to it. It's not.
Yeah, I'm used to it. What's up, Curtis?
I've been embarrassed on live TV.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
No, it's
shit
all right.
breaks.
attesting to it is not a big deal.
Let's
Oh,
see.
man.
Brandon says, I'm broke, working on a C4 with a busted kickdown in my transmission. Can I run it on the street without it?
Without the kickdown. Shift it
On the
manually.
C4, it's got a vacuum modulator, so yeah, you're right.
Boom, shift it manually.
No, you shouldn't have to shift it manually.
Oh,
It's
I
got-
know. You
On
put
the
it-
C4, it's got a vacuum modulator, and the
Mhm.
kickdown is literally just that, it's just a kickdown. It's not a,
There's no linkage?
There is a linkage.
Oh, okay.
It's got two things. It's got the vacuum modulator, which tells it when to shift according to engine vacuum. And it also has the kickdown lever, the kickdown linkage. So, yes, you can, any transmission that has a vacuum modulator, you can drive without the kickdown linkage hooked up. Just don't expect it to kick down when you hit the gas. You'd have to do that manually.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
John Possum has noticed that I need some sinus meds.
You probably,
Sinus meds.
the season has been.
The
windy.
allergies here are crazy right now.
Yeah.
It's ragweed season. That's why we couldn't come on last week, because we were so sick. There was no way I was talking or Tony was talking.
I took something and it just.
I can't breathe right
out.
now, so
So you texted me?
this is just my life.
You texted me, I go, oh no, you guys got the crud again.
Yeah, no, it wasn't
No,
the
no
crud.
problem.
It's
No, go back when you
Allergies.
had the crud, it was a crud, and the next month it was COVID.
It was, man, it was more than crud.
It was horrible,
It was
I know.
horrible.
I remember your marathon New Year's,
Yep.
you couldn't marathon.
Now there's a bunch of people coming out saying, yeah, we had it back in November, December, January, you know? Yeah, that's when we had it.
this
Oh,
is
you had-
ragweed. What's going on now in Tennessee is ragweed,
You had something severe.
and it's like almost like having the flu.
It's worse.
That's how bad it is.
This.
The ragweed, yeah.
I don't even know what ragweed is.
You look it up.
You're not allergic to it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
would
I'll-
know. This happens every fall.
I get the
here.
sneezing and stuff, and it could be that, I don't know.
Oh, it's brutal. I take the local honey. Sometimes it helps.
Take what?
Local honey.
Oh, I have some of that.
We're very susceptible because we
I
grew up in
know.
New York. So
I
when we
know.
moved here, we just were sick all the time.
I have a beehive.
So the channel that wants to do the collaboration, do me a favor, send, I just want to see what you guys do. Send a link to Uncle Tony's Garage at gmail.com.
Tony's not a stoner.
No,
Where do people come up with this?
I have no idea.
He rolled a cigarette.
I've
Tony
known you
doesn't
for
smoke
what,
pot.
almost a year?
Yeah.
You know how many times I've seen you even drink? I saw you drink a beer once.
Yeah,
Once.
they're
on
cigarettes,
a-
guys.
On a video, and you had some kind of a dark beer.
New York breeds weak people.
That's it.
Well, we
You
didn't
don't
have.
drink, you don't do
No,
anything.
No, I work on
You do
cars.
this pipe tobacco, whatever it is,
Yeah.
which is why your cigarettes don't stink.
No, we're not weak. Like if we were next to a dump, we would be fine. We're immune to dumps.
Oh, nothing can
We're
hurt.
just not
If you ever
used to
lived
this
near
kind
a
of
dump-
flora and
Yes, I grew
fauna.
up in Staten Island, yeah. Okay, there's only two man-made objects, and it's not, you can't make this shit up. This is back in the 70s, may have changed since then, right?
They've closed the dump.
There were only two man-made objects you could make out from outer space. The Great Wall of China and the Staten Island landfill. And
It's true, that's the
It's
truth.
a lot of it's God's honest
It
truth.
was the world's largest dump.
Yeah. And that was
No,
the
my father grew up there, he never told me that.
Yeah, this was like directly like from NASA, you know, it was like you could only really make out two man-made objects from like, you know, way out there. And the fucking Great Wall of China and the Staten Island landfill, and I grew up 3 miles from the Staten Island landfill.
Of course, my father was there in the late 20s and through like the 30s. Maybe it wasn't that big yet, I don't know. You know what he told me? He saw the Hindenburg go over and then they saw the
Oh,
Van Plume. Man, he was 12 when that happened.
Tom Wilburn says it makes sense that y'all were allergic to Tennessee. I'm allergic to New York. Of course, like you're gonna grow up with immunity as to what you're
I'm not
living in.
allergic to
The
Tennessee.
first 2 years that I lived here,
Brutal.
I can't tell you how, the last 20 years I lived in New York, I didn't even sneeze. I mean, like, nothing.
Yeah, no, we were never sick.
Right.
Everything
Never
was
saw
clogged up.
What's that?
Everything was
No, I would
clogged
get-
up and you couldn't
I would
sneeze.
get some allergies in New York. I've
Shit
always
that
had
I didn't
allergies.
get nothing. Like, I mean, literally, I was the healthiest thing on earth. And I moved here, and the first 2 years that I was here, I was sick constantly. It just never stopped. It was just one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And it was just it's all of the different bacteria and microbes and all of the crazy shit that grows here. It all attacks you and tries to kill you. It makes Yankee go home, you know?
Yeah. Any tornadoes? No, we haven't had any recently.
No, I went through Nashville last year, I guess.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tornado.
Yeah.
I missed that. I was at some dumb alcoholic's house.
Isn't that fun?
It was a blast. And
What do these guys keep shaking your hand?
so I was at this alcoholic's house, and they kept having these warnings about, a tornado coming through. And I was like, you know what, I gotta get back to Murfreesboro. So I jumped in the car, and like literally, I passed the air, 24 there, Broadley Parkway, and I passed it, and the tornado was like literally like 3 minutes behind me.
It went through that airport
Yeah,
on the west side, tore the shit out of it, and then went down.
made a mess of Mount Juliet.
Man.
What's up, Ryan?
My
He
former
says
wife
he's
was
about to
down
leave.
there, right, like a couple of blocks from them.
Ryan, what's your question?
I wonder if she caused it.
She caused, can I blame her for
For
this?
sure, you got blame her for that. You get sued for
I
breach
was
of
gonna say,
contract.
breach of contract.
Did this guy really say that?
He really said that.
Didn't he say we were suing him?
He did.
He said, I knew that he said that a while back, that
He
we
did
were
a
suing
whole
him.
Video on that.
We're not suing
I gotta
anybody.
start watching this guy.
He's,
Oh, my
he's
goodness.
got, I don't know.
I don't know what
Yeah, I don't
Ryan's
get it.
question is.
He's like, all the YouTubers out there, and he decides to go after you.
Okay, Ryan says, what would you suggest a 16-year-old get his first own project? I built 7 Dakotas, but none were mine, so I think after this one, I'm gonna get my own project.
You built, how many Dakotas?
7 Dakotas.
If you built 7 Dakotas,
Get a
then
Dakota.
Get a Dakota, and you just answered
You
your
know
own
what,
question.
you know what you're doing. And do it your way this time.
This is why I keep my fleet all certain year range, certain models and stuff like that. Because I know these cars like the back of my hand, and I have all the parts for them. So it makes it easy for me to have, it's easier for me to have 5 cars than it is to have 1 car, because I have all of the stuff, I have 14 cars. But because I have all of this interchangeable stuff, this transmission will fit this car, this car, this car, this car. This starter will fit every single car that I own. This alternator will fit every single car that I own. So it's like, excuse me.
Ragweed
Yeah, well, it's a lot of dust in here too.
and dust.
There's a lot of dust in here.
You know, this guy, young guy that's built 7 Dakotas for other people, I assume. I'm sure during these builds you were saying, if it were mine, I'd do it this way, or if I mine, I'd do it that, but you had to do it your customer's way. So, do one your way. You go, that'd be fun. I used to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
My 64 Ford, eventually I did it my way, and I really had fun with that car.
No, absolutely. Build a Dakota. I mean, that's.
This week's video, rotating pistons overview.
I don't know if I want to go back to that now.
Is there a challenge? I don't know. Is there some sort of a challenge?
If there's some sort of challenge,
We have to
yeah,
find
I'll
out
make a
about
challenge,
it.
But I don't want to just randomly do a piston video.
Right.
Yeah, you already did that.
You gotta understand something about this channel. A lot of people don't quite get it, right? Like, for instance, we have a lot of different projects. Why don't you ever finish one project? Well, you can't, because if I focus only on the one project, I lose 75% of my audience, because only 25% of the audience following that one project. So I have to bounce from car to car, from concept to concept, from idea to idea, in order to keep everything in rotation and everything fresh, and all of the audience covered. Because some people could care less about budget drag cars. Some people could care less about stock driver, some people could care less about maintenance. Some people could care less about engine theory. Some people could care less about history. So it's like I have to bounce from thing to thing to thing in order to keep the whole audience, engaged over the course of, let's say, a week or 2 weeks worth of cycle. I have to go through all of these different things. That's how we keep the channel going. That's how we keep it fresh. And that's how we keep me from getting bored. Because if I only have to focus on one car, I'll lose my mind.
Moparnut62 says, Dolchik challenge Dino Time. Do it. You challenge Dino Time? I don't know.
What did Steve do?
Challenge Dino Time? I guess,
He's gonna give you dino time?
I don't know.
Could somebody please give me the specific
Get the transcript
thing?
for us.
Yeah, if somebody could print out a transcript or something.
I'm
like-
gonna have to go home after here.
And
renew
subscribe.
renew my motor training, because I screwed that up. And then I'll go there and I'll find out what happened.
I mean, I welcome a challenge from these guys, that's no problem, but I wanna know what the challenge is and what I have to do, you know? Do I have to build a whole engine?
I
to-
think you have to subscribe to Motor Trend.
That's
the
a
challenge.
it's a ploy to get me to subscribe to Motor Trend. They do this with everybody.
Right.
No, I'm serious. Dude, I
That's funny.
would probably have to actually build a whole engine to solve this one thing. I don't have time for that.
Let's see. No worries, Tony. Keep bouncing around. I like seeing different projects in various states of completion.
So once a project is complete, I lose total interest in it. To me, it is the challenge, and it's like, didn't we just do this in a video? Oh,
Which?
but we never published it.
Which?
I have no interest in cars.
Oh.
You know, I have very little interest in cars. I have interest in projects.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You know how true that airplanes, I started building airplanes because I didn't have enough money to go buy an airplane. But then I became an airplane builder. And I fly an airplane once or twice and get it so everything's working right. I'm done with it.
You're done with it,
On
exactly.
the next project.
exactly. That's
right.
how I am. That's how I am.
And many times, several projects at once.
To me, as soon as a project is done, it's dead to me. You know what I'm saying? But
Although I do want to, my Studebaker, my plan is to drive that a lot. It's gonna be my cross-country
well,
driver.
see, they go
But-
on me though. Even though the project would be like done, I have so much blood and sweat equity in the car that I bond with it, and I never want to get rid of it.
But then, if I got a 60 Valiant, which I really want, that Studebaker would, yeah, it'd probably get sold.
I'd love for you to get a 60 Variant.
Oh, that's just,
We'll build a hyper pack for it. Oh, how badass would that be?
Do you know anything about the old school Talker 289s? I can't find anything on them.
I think I have one laying around here.
There you
Mr.
go,
Intake
Adam.
Manifold. The night I met him, he gave me an intake manifold. That was pretty funny.
You find it?
No, this isn't it. This isn't.
It's not it?
You know, a friend of mine told me, he goes, I just gave you some old intake manifold that nobody wants. I said, I don't know, so I looked it up. You know, that's a current manifold that you can buy today that's a good manifold. That's pretty cool. You need a guy in a gas station using that manifold. Just a minute, jumps out of the car, you're going, what are you doing? He opens up the trunk and answers.
I figured you
That's
drove
one of the
all the way
funniest,
out from Clarksville.
funniest thing I ever seen.
I had to give you something.
You know how good I felt when I got home with it.
That's awesome.
I set it on my kitchen table, and it was there for almost a week
Was it?
before I walked it up to the shop.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Tony, how about drag testing the 318 Dart and doing simple mods every week with drag test results?
I don't have a 318 Dart.
We got a 360 Dart.
I got a 360 Dart.
It
What
was
do
a
you wanna do?
318. Doing simple mods every week with drag test results.
I would love to do something like that, but I don't
Got
have the
this.
time.
Got the bottle rocker right now for that.
Yeah, well, the bylaws different. It's not a stop.
And we can't go to Music City
Oh,
anymore.
so you're just
Oh, we
talking.
go to Music City. I gave the money for grease
I know
and
you
everything,
did.
yeah.
I'm just busting your chops.
I don't have time. That's the biggest problem. I'm here by myself. Buff comes down on Sunday nights. He lives
You have me.
almost 100 miles from here. Yeah, but you're taking care of the fort and running all of this shit. I'm here by myself. I don't have the time to get stuff to the track.
You know, my shop is, I would bet exactly the same size as this.
Yeah.
When I'm in there, I'm in there. That's it. And, yeah, you kind of entertain yourself.
I wish, like for instance, Bottle Rocket is a perfect example, right? When we started that project, my idea was to get the car together, right? Get it running, right? And then just say goodbye to it. I was expecting somebody to be able to just take the car and go run it and come back and say, it did this, it did this, it did this. And I'll say, okay, well, let's fix this, let's change that, let's do the other thing. That was the whole point behind the project. The idea was never for me to go and take this car and go make runs with it. If I never go to a drag strip again for the rest of my fucking life, it's too soon. I spent years, all I did was go to drag strips. My whole life was just going to and from drag strips. And I'm past that. Like, I don't get anything out of it anymore. I don't get anything out of driving cars anymore. I want to see other people drive cars. I like building stuff. I like creating things. I like making stuff work that isn't supposed to work. I like taking junk and making it not junk. Or at least I enjoy the challenge part of that. It's like, okay, it's like breakage roulette. What's going to go next? You know what I mean? And that's where I actually have my fun. So, and it's like the Slant 6 car now. So
It's kind of the opposite of everything else, right?
it's, yeah.
People are afraid to break this stuff, and you're like, oh, let's see if it's gonna
No,
break.
that's what the fun is.
Right.
That's how I managed to do nitro cars for 15 years, because it was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go break shit. That's
Right.
fine. Let's do it. So it's like, even it's like this Slant 6 car. It's like I'm dying to put it together, but I'm dreading taking it to the track. Not that I care if it breaks or it doesn't go fast or doesn't, I could care less. You know, that the whole challenge is getting it to not break and then getting it to go fast, a little bit step at a time. But I don't want to have to be taking it to the track. I want somebody else to take it to the track. I don't ever want to see the car again. I want to finish it and then see pictures of it and videos of it and get postcards from out on the road, you know?
We have direct quotes now.
What's that?
We have direct quotes now
Direct quotes.
from Steve.
Oh, okay.
Jason Fitch says, Steve says, quote, I will issue a challenge for any engine builder, journalist, or former journalist to prove to me that offsetting the piston pins will make any measurable gain on a dyno. He says that's verbatim.
Okay, it will not make a measurable gain on the dyno. It does not work like that. It's in the way, how can I explain it to you? All right. Okay,
So that's a challenge like you can't even take.
I'm gonna demonstrate exactly what it is. Using the same amount of force, okay? So picture this now, right? Here, this is, right? Same amount of force, right? If I go like this, hold, resist.
Resist.
Resist, you be the car, okay? If I go like this, right?
Okay.
He moves X amount. Now using that same amount of force, I'm gonna hit him. You see what I'm saying? He moves more radically, he moves harder when I hit him as opposed to when I just push him. See what I'm saying? That's the effect of reversing the offset on the pistons. When you hit it, right? So let's say you're landing foot brake on the car, you got a flat punch on the car. You'll see an extra 200, 300, 400 RPM flash on the converter with the pistons turned around than you will with them in the conventional. Now it doesn't mean you're going to make any more peak power. You're not going to see more peak power. You're going to see more resistance, more shove.
Does that come from more,
It delivers
from partial throttle to full throttle?
It's
Because
not-
you'll never
it's not so
see
much-
that on a
It's not so
dyno.
much partial throttle to full throttle. It's the way it attacks the drivetrain. You see what I'm saying?
I think so, but
Do you remember when I took you for a ride in Bottle Rocket?
yeah, the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Do you remember how it felt when I hit the fucking gas?
it was, I never felt anything like that.
Okay.
And I've been in some fast cars, but they didn't feel like that.
That's because that everything in that car is designed to deliver the punch and not the
I want
push.
to go fly
It's
this.
the same.
I'm gonna hang on to this.
It's the same amount of push, but the punch is different. The impact is different. That's why the car wants to leave the way it does. That's why it snaps axles like the toothpicks, because it's the punch. And it's a little things like that. And turning those pistons around does exactly that. It delivers the hit harder. It's the same hit, but it's the way it's delivered is harder.
That's
Does
the
that make any sense?
reason I asked about the partial throttle to full throttles, because you'll never see partial throttle on
No.
because the dyno's resisting the full throttle, the full power there.
Right, but the car,
And the car is different.
car is completely different.
Because you're coming on from,
We don't race dynamometers.
Mo Pornett is saying Tony Dyno would prove your premise. Go challenge.
First off, I don't have a dyno.
But you said it won't show up on the dyno.
It won't show up in peak numbers.
Okay.
Okay, the peak number is gonna be the same. If the
Would
motor
it
makes-
show up at all?
It would show up if you were, no, because a dyno acts, is a brake, okay? It's a brake, and what it's doing is, it's letting the engine fight against it, but it's doing it in a gradual way. The dyno doesn't clamp down on the motor. The dyno gives steady resistance to the motor, and you measure the power that way. The car, on the other hand, when you put this thing in a car, it's different. The engine has to shove the car. The car doesn't represent an even resistance. The
So
car
you're saying this
represents.
resistance comes all at once.
Exactly. So it's apples to oranges, it's two completely different things. And like I said, we do not race dynamometers. I'm not knocking dynos, dynos are good, but dynos give you peak numbers. And dynos give you a measured, controlled climb, right, RPM. Cars do not. Apples and oranges, two completely
Do we
different
have
things.
that? Do we have that Chrysler?
Wait, let me say that, okay, I'll put it this way, Steve, if you're watching this, forget the challenge. It won't show up on the dyno, it will show up on the drag strip. Does that make any sense? You take an engine that makes 400 horsepower, you put it in a 3,000-pound car, it's gonna run whatever it's gonna run, what the hell would something like that run, like 1250, 1280, something along those lines. Turn the pistons around, you'll get 1260s out of it. The mile an hour will stay the same. You'll pick up ET, but you won't pick up mile an hour.
Yes?
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Send him a copy of the bullet from Chrysler.
I'm sure he's right. Steve's
He's
been
right.
around forever.
Steve's a fun guy to watch.
He's a sharp guy, he knows
Yeah.
his shit, he knows his shit.
Like engine masters, like. So, yeah, I'm always checking for the next engine masters.
It's a good show, it's a good show.
Let's see. Like aluminum flywheel versus a steel flywheel inertia?
Bingo. Not the same thing, but the same concept.
Same concept.
Same concept. The iron flywheel will get your car off the starting line. Where the aluminum flywheel, it won't. Well, I mean, the aluminum flywheel needs a lot more motor behind it to make itself go. But the concept is essentially the same.
Okay. So we don't have to do any challenges.
Challenges.
I mean, if they, look, I don't mind building an engine. I got enough shit to build. I can't tell you how many engines laying around. I mean, it takes me, a day to build an engine. If somebody wants to line up dyno time, you know what I mean? I'd be happy to do it, but I know that there isn't going to be any appreciable, noticeable difference on the dyno itself. But take that combination and stick it in a car, apples and oranges.
Okay. Let's see. Would a compression tester show any differences in the piston reversal?
No, you're not changing that at all.
Okay. Is rod angle less on power stroke with reverse pistons?
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Let's see.
And why is it, you told me this once, but I can't remember. Why is it they offset it the other direction?
Noise. Because
Oh,
when the engine is cold, before the piston expands, it wants to rock in the
where
bore.
do you get that?
Yeah, so they offset the wrist pin to keep the piston loaded to one side, so it doesn't rock. You see what I'm saying? Then when the motor warms up, piston expands.
Oh, and there's some engines that are worse at that.
Yeah, well, that's why race engines sound the way they do. Have you ever listened to a race? Have you guys ever
Oh,
listened to a race
I
engine with
just,
mufflers on it?
I just assumed that the piston cylinder wall clearance is huge.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, without offset and with like the big oil clearances, like people are like, why do you run such loose oil clearances? Because race engine wants loose oil clearances. If you ever listen to a race engine through mufflers, like a quiet race engine, you'd be horrified. Because, you know, it's like you hear everything just slamming around inside that thing. It sounds like a diesel.
Wait, stop. Zero has a question.
Oh, shit. Zero. He has a question.
What's your question, Zero? He's gonna type it.
We'll
He just
wait.
said, Kathy, I have a question. All right, I'm waiting, Zero.
Well,
We're waiting.
we're waiting.
All right.
Former automotive journalist? Steve, really? Former?
Yeah. Well, that's what you said about yourself. So.
Yeah, I know.
You've just changed your venue from old-fashioned magazines to.
Former, Steve? I'm pretty sure you grew up reading my stuff, bro.
That's pretty funny.
But it's true.
It's true.
Let's see. He just says, I have shoes. Is that your
Nice.
question, Zero?
No, that's cool. Yeah, excellent.
All right.
You got shoes?
Okay, we've
Yeah,
all
my
got
Kathy's
shoes.
Kathy's got shoes, I got shoes.
The
Yep.
car's got shoes.
Uncle, the bracket for my flux capacitor isn't allowing me to purge the plutonium slags once they're spent. Do you think it could be in my Mr. Fusion intake?
I would try
That's a
myself.
question for Steve Dolchik.
Is it?
Yeah.
That is a question for, yeah.
Let's see.
Something to ponder while he's out there on a walnut farm.
Oh, funny. Bruce says, I had to take a phone call, so I missed if you replied on Facebook. You posted a photo of the green duster getting wet. There was a comment, you'll be sorry you used that watercolor stuff. What's he mean? Oh, we don't know what he means.
I have no idea what he
I
means.
think he's just joking.
It's enamel.
Yeah, it's enamel.
It's an enamel
acrylic
with
enamel.
urethane hardener.
It's acrylic enamel with
Yeah.
a painted right here.
Painted right where Uncle
With
Kathy's
air
sitting.
coming in and out.
Yeah.
I didn't see any overspray, any dust.
Everything here is green.
Huh?
Everything here is green. Look at the
Is it?
flag.
I don't see it.
It's got a green.
First car I ever painted was a '56 Ford, and I'd been working on. My mother and father were leaving. I was 16 or 17.
Right over the
They had it
heads.
in the
Yeah,
garage.
well,
Yeah. My
whatever.
father says, "Don't paint that car in here." And it was light blue about that color. And when he came home, all the rafters were all everything. Oh man.
I'm never painting inside again.
Oh.
I'm doing all the body work, all the paint outside from now on.
There were a couple of times my father was really mad at me.
I'll
That
take
was
the bugs. I'll take the bugs.
Oh, man. All right.
What's the matter?
No, nothing. I'm looking for stuff to read.
the things you learn. when
There's
you're young.
no comments that are readable right now.
My father's concrete floor was perfect. There wasn't a spot on it.
Wait, is that a bad thing?
It's what?
There's no readable comments.
Oh,
I don't know. No, it's just like people talking to each other.
So I had 292 Ford and I took it apart. My father said, "Don't get any grease on my garage floor," and he was gone. And you know how you drain all the oil out, and you know all the oil's out. Then I flipped the engine over.
And then the oil came out.
I was like, "This." That was another one of those times.
Let's see. If the concept is the same, then why can you measure power difference between light and heavy flywheels?
You can't measure power difference between light and heavy flywheels. It'd be exactly the same on a dyno. It's the way, man, you know, that's the problem here. Everybody is so tuned into, everybody's dyno. The dyno.
Dynos are fun to watch.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but you got the stored energy in the iron flywheel that's
Thank
not so
you.
much stored energy in the
Exactly.
aluminum flywheel. If
Right.
you look into a dyno, it's going to be the same.
Exactly. The problem today's generation of hot rodders is that all they know is dyno. All they know is dyno numbers. They don't understand that does not that you could build yourself an 800 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower. Pick the number. 1,500 horsepower, 2,700 horsepower. It doesn't make a difference. That does not translate to what it does when you put it in the car and put the thing on the start line and try to get it to accelerate down the track. You know, you can build an engine that's got 3,000 peak horsepower, but if you've got a tight converter on the thing and it's making 300 horsepower off idle and it oozes off the starting line, it doesn't matter what the hell the thing does all the way out there. You've already given up most of your, so it's like, dynos and actual real world performance are two completely different things.
Clayton says Chrysler engineer Tom Hoover said that reversing the piston creates a bit more torque, but also creates more cylinder wall wear.
I don't care about cylinder wall wear.
Okay, Zero wants to know, when removing the heads off my LA small block, why does the coolant stay at the top of the head?
When pulling the heads off of your LA small block, why does the coolant stay at the top of the head?
Yeah,
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know. He says it's a real question. I don't know.
Here's an LA small block.
No, it's not.
Well, that's both holes.
That's well, though, yeah, but that's where the coolant goes.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Numbnut says, D&D Speed Shop could use a shout out and more subs so they can give that 57 Chevy away.
We've given D&D Speech Up a couple of shots. I love his channel. He's a great guy. I love his attitude.
Which channel is this?
D&D Speed Shop.
I don't know it.
He's Canadian. Got a long-haired kid. He's probably maybe like 27, 28. He's got a girlfriend. She's all bubbly and shit. It's really fun.
Sounds like Junkyard Moog. She's all bubbly and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, let me write this down. What is it?
D&D Speed Shop. And he's giving away a 57 Chevy when he reaches his 57,000 subscriber. I can't believe he hasn't reached his 57,000 subscriber yet. He gets big views on his videos.
Spell check. I put speed shop and it changed it to
But yeah, that's what
short.
guys, D&D Speed Shop. Go check it out if you haven't done already.
Let's see. Andy sent $5.
Thank you, Andy.
On the new episode of Engine Masters, they dynoed a heavy and light flywheel, and the light flywheel made more power throughout the whole power band.
Really?
I don't see how that's possible.
I don't know.
I wonder how much more. I gotta watch that.
Oh, D&D Speed Shop sent you 20 Canadian dollars.
Oh, D&D, you don't have to do that.
Your
Thank you.
explanation of the steel wheels and tall tires was minty, man.
Thank you. The dyno measures
What's up, Barry?
the engine's pumping ability and its efficiency of burning that fuel. I don't understand how a flywheel could show up in that. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, Tony. Let's see.
I'll have to watch.
I can't change the camera focus right now. Like, it doesn't allow me to do that while we're live, so we just have to deal with it.
Ready to move?
No, you don't have to move. It's because I have to scroll the comments, and when I try and scroll, it wants to autofocus. So, like, if I get really behind, or the comments will fade out, so I have to touch them again, it'll autofocus. Why are there always emergency vehicle sirens in the live feed? Because we live in a city.
There's an ambulance service. That, what you're hearing, because you'll hear it a lot here. It's not cops. Sometimes it's cops. But there's an ambulance service and a fire department, like right down the street over here, and then the sheriff's department is across the road over there. So anytime that they go on any type of run in the city, you're hearing their sirens here.
You want this?
What is it? Oh, no, it's okay. I can still see the comments. It's
Oh,
fine. It's all right.
because this you won't have to scroll. See, we're behind.
Andy said another $5. If you don't understand it, sounds like you might have something to learn, maybe.
Explain it to me. Explain it to me. My mind is open. I don't understand how that could happen. Explain to me how it happens.
Let's see.
So I say, I'm gonna watch it.
Are we helping Lunar with his semi-powered Chevy truck?
No.
No. They asked if we were low-key helping him. No.
No. Okay. Go back to this flywheel thing.
Okay.
So, by extension, if the motor makes more power with a heavier flywheel than a lighter flywheel, then wouldn't it make sense it would make more power if you had a transmission hooked up to it? Then wouldn't it make more sense if you had a drive shaft and a rear end hooked up to it? Then wouldn't it make sense that it would make more power if you had it attached to the car, the wheels are on the ground and you're accelerating the car? That doesn't really make
It
much
was the other
sense.
way around, was it? Was lighter flyweight produced more?
He's saying they went to extremes, 40-pound weight difference in the test.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I'll just watch it, see what it's.
They said Engine Masters went extreme on the weight reduction, 40 pounds weight difference in the test.
And how much power difference was there?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I want to know, how much power difference was it?
I do not know. Hang on. Saying less mass.
Something else I've noticed with dynos, like, Engine Masters doesn't do
Is-
it, but, Nick's garage, he'll make 2 or 3 or 4 runs without changing anything, and they'll all be a little different.
Yeah, because there's always a statistical margin of error per run. You know, the cylinder head temperature is just a little bit different. You know, the exhaust port is just a little bit hotter, or the, you know what I mean, whatever it happens
Oh,
to
yeah.
be. And back to back to back, you'll get small, let's say a 1% variation between them.
Mitten Made Muscle is saying lightened rotating assembly or flywheel will make a tad more horsepower simply due to rotating mass. Same thing happens on a chassis dyno when using light wheels and tires versus heavy wheels and tires.
On a chassis dyno, absolutely you'll see the difference. On an engine dyno, I don't see how you would see it because
Well, I wanna know how much power difference.
the peak, okay, so let's just look at it this way, right? Take a snapshot of peak power, okay? So let's say peak power, freeze it right exactly there. There's no acceleration to it, there's no acceleration beyond it. It's just the rotation, the single rotation, where that engine makes its peak power. At what point does anything, any part of the reciprocating assembly or the spinning assembly add or subtract from that peak power, from that number, from that snapshot? That's why I'm saying it doesn't make any sense. Or basically, if you could hold the engine at steady RPM. So
I'd say put enough resistance where it stays at peak horsepower.
exactly. So if you, bingo. So if it makes peak power, let's say 6,000 RPM, and you maintain just that 6,000 RPM, how could a lighter or heavier flywheel make any difference in what that peak number is? It's spun up to speed. And whether it weighs a pound or 1,000 pounds, it's spun up to speed as long as everything is running at a steady. That make sense?
Well, it is gonna take a little power to maintain the speed of a heavier item. I would think. No, cause
No.
you got, I don't know, now I'm
Shane
really
says
wondering.
flywheel weight will cover the dips in horsepower as long as it has the torque to get inertia moving. Want snappy power, reduce weight?
I'm gonna meditate on this. This is something I'm gonna end up laying awake for hours tonight thinking about this.
Or spend $4.99.
No, I'd rather figure it out on my own. I'd rather figure it out on my own.
Well, I wanna go see the
And-
details, and then I'm gonna be awake all night.
I'm gonna give myself $4.99,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I'm gonna call you and tell you what I found, and I expect you to send me $4.99.
See, I went from, this is a whole different thing, cable TV of almost $200 a month, where I only watched automotive stuff, to Motor Trend, where it's $4.99 a month, where all I watch is automotive stuff. That was an easy
And now
choice.
you're on YouTube and it's free. Go figure that
There's a
one out.
lot of, there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube.
Heyo has a serious
Richard
question.
Holder,
Somebody was talking today about chemically porting intakes and exhaust manifolds. What do you know about that?
They've been doing that for eons, extrude honing and the chemical milling, dropping the stuff in an acid bath and letting it etch. It's
Why don't you
nothing
do
new.
that with an exhaust? Man.
Andy's back. He sent you another $5.
Thank you, Andy.
He says 15 to 17 horsepower difference between the two. It's resistance to motion, whether it's on a chassis dyno or engine dyno.
I still wanna watch it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. The peak number is, let me think for a second now. Oh, okay,
Now you know what I want.
wait, now,
We gotta get him to turn a set of pistons around.
Wait, no, I can't verbalize it yet, but I
You
see,
think you have the concept.
I think I got the concept.
I
Okay,
don't know, I'm gonna watch it.
no, wait.
Don't let me watch it.
Wait, give me a second, because he may be right. He may be right. Resistance. No, I can't see that make a higher peak number. Bro, I don't wanna tie up this whole life here with this. I'm gonna leave room there for self-doubt, and I'm gonna actually sit and contemplate on this and see what the hell, you may be right. I'm gonna give you that, you may be right. So, let's not go any further with this, because now I've lost all focus of doing everything else. Focus to me is hard to come by. So, but yeah, thank you for the cash. You said, you may be right, I'm gonna think about this.
Why else would you use a lightweight crank? Less rotating mass?
A lighter assembly will accelerate quicker. It'll always accelerate quicker, but it won't necessarily make higher peak numbers.
See, because on the dyno, it's limited, the brake on the dyno lets the engine accelerate at a certain rate.
A very slow rate compared
Well,
to what it's gonna accelerate.
it might
in
be
the car.
like 300 RPM per second or something, but, so that's not gonna change
In
on a
first,
dyno.
in first gear in a car, you go from 1,000
But in
RPM
a
to
car-
6,000 RPM
but
in
in
2
a-
seconds.
In a car, you don't have a fixed rate of acceleration like you do on a dyno.
Let's see.
I had this whole thing, I gotta go. Yeah, we spent too much time.
Yeah, we spent too much time on this. And I'm not blowing it, I'm not trying to, just change the subject, because I might be like, no, my mind is open to this. But let's do other things and we'll go back to it. Maybe next week we'll have a long discussion about this.
Okay. Hey Tony, when are you gonna get into overhead cam engines?
Being in overhead cam engines, I don't really see myself going back to them, I don't really have a reason to.
Backroads and Bass sent you $3.99.
Thank you.
5,000 RPM is 5,000 RPM regardless of weight.
But that's what I say. It's how you get to the 5,000 RPM that makes a difference. Oh, okay, all right. So,
Well, here we go again, we're on a
So-
still.
I'm not trying to ignore anybody. Sorry, Benjamin C. It's just a
Okay.
lot of comments tonight.
okay. The dyno is measuring a rate,
The
Okay.
rate of
the
acceleration.
rate of acceleration.
Yes.
And the rate of acceleration will, there you go, okay. All right, go back to this.
Because the car doesn't have a rate of acceleration. It changes. The rate of acceleration changes. The dyno is fixed. It's a fixed time.
But that's beside the point, whether it's fixed time or not fixed time, okay? The dyno is measuring a rate of acceleration.
Right,
Okay.
it's a rate.
Okay, and that rate is absolutely going to be affected by flywheel weight, there's no question about it. But the actual peak number, if you could freeze the engine at that RPM, let's say it's 6,000 RPM, you get your peak number of 6,000 RPM, flywheel weight does not make any difference. Flywheel weight will make a difference attaining 6,000 RPM, getting to that 6,000 RPM, but it will not change the actual peak number. Does that make any sense? So, okay, there's steady state power. For instance, let's just say, for example, you're on a lane speed car, and your engine is gonna run at between, let's say, 7,000 and 8,000 RPM over the course of a mile. The rate of acceleration is so slight at that speed, because now you're talking about a steady state. The rate of acceleration is so slow, you would see zero difference in flywheel weight. But if you were running over a shorter distance, where the motor's got to accelerate to that peak, then yeah, you would absolutely see a difference. It does make a difference, and it doesn't make a difference. It depends on how you're viewing it. Does that make sense?
I know, I'm overloaded here. I gotta go.
Take an engine,
I,
spin the engine up or
I'm thinking all these things.
okay. engine's running at 6,000 RPM, you've got the motor running at a steady 6,000 RPM, okay? Now apply the dyno brake to it and give it throttle at the same time.
So you never change there's
You're
no
not
rate of
changing-
acceleration.
The peak number is gonna be the same. But bring the motor from 0 up to the 6,000, and yeah, you're absolutely gonna see a difference. That's the difference between them.
You know, something I don't know about dynos. These guys always set a rate of
Right.
so much RPM in a certain amount of time, and it sits there full throttle and slowly goes up to wherever they shut down.
I think they're
Now,
approximating.
I would like to see a dyno where they don't change anything on the engine, but test the dyno by changing that rate of acceleration. That would be kind of interesting.
It would be, and it would definitely show differences in different configurations of engines, and that's where you would see a difference in something like piston offset. But I think when they set the rate on a dyno, they're setting it for what they're duplicating high gear acceleration. What would be the rate that would be expected in high gear. Because your rate in first gear is gonna be pretty fucking violent, you know, it's gonna go rah, like that. Whereas in high
I
gear,
noticed
because high
that.
gear is rah, right? So I'm pretty sure when they set a dyno, when they set the rate that the dyno operates at, they're setting it at the expected rate of acceleration in high gear.
Well, there you go.
All this stuff. So,
Now the dyno
you know who I'm gonna write a note to.
the dyno also isn't taking into account gear changes.
Oh, no,
The
that
dyno never
changes-
walks
that
the
changes
motor.
the rate. That changes the rate.
Yeah,
Andy sent you another $5.
thank you, Andy. You
He's-
stop sending me money, I appreciate it, you don't have to send
Well,
me anymore.
it's one of the only reasons I can get his messages. We're getting a lot of,
Send Andy a
comments.
t-shirt.
yeah, Andy, send me your,
Andy, yeah, give us your address, we're gonna
address.
send you a t-shirt.
he says, I don't think it measures the rate of acceleration. I thought it measures torque, and the horsepower is a calculation of torque and horsepower.
Oh, but the
But it still
dyno, the brake on the dyno, you set that so that there's always the same rate.
Right, the
The brake applies enough,
dyno is a brake.
right?
And it doesn't apply the brake all at once, it applies it gradually, just like a tractor pull, if you ever watch a tractor pull, you know, the sled, right?
That's a whole.
Yeah, the sled it gradually brings its weight up and drags it down, well, the brake on the dyno pretty much does the same thing.
Because when you're in a dyno, you're always at full throttle, it's that brake that sets the rate that it accelerates. And this is a whole, now I've got a whole new thing I'm thinking about. 'Cause they always set that rate. Now, Engine Masters, I don't remember talking about that. But Nick at Nick's Garage always talks about that, about the rate that it accelerates at. Pretty interesting.
Is your brain good?
Huh?
Is your brain all good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Wendy says more about road toads.
Oh, Road Toad's my favorite car. Well, one of my favorites.
As soon as I find a road toad locally, I will absolutely do a video on road toads, because I could do, the road toad is the most significant car in all of Chrysler history. Nothing, not a single car you know today as a classic Mopar muscle car would exist. Nothing that you know in the world of Mopar, right, you know, classic era, Cudas, Roadrunners, Challengers, Chargers, Darts, Dusters, all that shit, none of those cars would exist if it wasn't for the road toad.
That was the beginning of the structure.
Not only that, it was the beginning of the lettering. Like, there was no A body, B body, C body, the road toad was just the Valiant, right? It didn't become an A body until they stretched the frame and made the B body.
That was the beginning. That was the beginning of that unibody structure, the way
Yep.
it was.
The road toad is the Genesis Mopar.
Oh, Wayne Ferguson says 1,000 ton or 1 pound flywheel at a constant RPM, engine horsepower on a dyno the same.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He said that. He said that's a statement or a question.
Statement.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. That's kind of what I think, but.
Let's see.
Next dyno test I see, I want to test the dyno, not the engine. I want.
I go
I
back
wanna
to
see
that.
over
If it's a
People are
straight-
asking what a road toad is.
Road Toad, 1960 beginning, 1960 Valiant. 61 Plymouth Valiant, and then the Dodge Lancer is what, 62?
62,
I'd call-
61 and 62.
I'd call all those the road toads.
Yeah, 1961 through 62 compact Chrysler
Oh,
products.
60.
60.
Yes,
60 through 62.
Okay. And the 60, all there was a 4-door sedan. I like 60s, but I kind of like 2 doors, so a 61 looks just about like a 60.
I'd love to have one.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't even matter. The other thing about 61, they had the wagon. I like wagons just because I can.
We
put
have
a lot
more
of crap in.
controversy here. You want to
Controversy.
address this, please?
Sure.
Let's share it. Oh, don't delete it. I'm gonna read it, Ari. So you won't step up and own trash talking Vice Grip Garage, a fellow YouTuber? I'm sorry, but I'm unsubbed and out. Bye.
What's this?
When
What?
did you trash talk Vice Grip?
Never.
We're not going to trash talk Fresco.
Vice Grip's
can't.
great. You even give him shout out all the
You
time.
talked to him on the
I
phone.
talked to him on the phone.
You know where he was last week?
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, was he in Tennessee?
He was in Tennessee. He bought a Corvette that was the worst looking Corvette I've ever seen. The floor had stuff growing, like, I don't know, there's vegetation in there. And he cleaned that thing all up and he took it to Florida for a
Let me see.
burnout contest.
Let me see.
I'm tired of people and their rumors.
Why
Like, if
did
you
that-
don't know what
that's just
facts
some-
are,
That's just some
if you
troll.
don't know what facts are, just like shut up.
That's
Yeah.
just some troll.
Derek has my number. If I'm shit talking him, he's more than able to text me and say, hey, stop shit talking me.
Never.
Unbelievable. All right. Andy sent another $5. I
Hey,
saw a
Andy.
test where they changed the RPM rate from 600 RPM to 300 RPM, and the torque increased. Oh, no, Andy, send us your address to UncleTony'sGarage@gmail.com, and we'll send you a shirt. Did you
I
get
want to know where
that?
shit talking Vice Grip comes from.
That's just some troll. That's somebody that doesn't even listen to this. Because if they listen to you, they would never say that.
So did you get that?
That's one of the best channels that you're always talking about. That and Junkyard, Junkyard Digs and what is it, 289?
Thunderhead 289.
Thunderhead 289, all those people. You're always give them a shout out.
This is why I deleted. I know, Ari, but you know what? When people keep saying that same thing over and over again, like other people are reading that too, and they're like gonna think, well, was he
Yeah, exactly.
trash talking him?
That's the
So
problem. It's
when I
like-
see stuff like that, I have to address it because it needs to be addressed. Because it's not right.
So that guy says he's out of there, but he's really doing
Yeah.
is he's sitting there to see what kind of shit he
Mhm.
stirred up.
Right.
And he stirred up a bunch of shit. He met his goal.
Well, they say don't feed the trolls, but sometimes you have to respond because you get stuff like this, like people, did he really do that? You know what I
Right,
mean? So-
exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Don't forget Scotch Speed Shop. Yep. Let's see.
No, the only YouTubers I have any gripe with is like those ding dongs of Power Nation. But that's just me.
Okay,
Well,
Les is saying, okay, my
let's see.
apology it came from his comment section from several people. So I am
Comment
sorry,
section?
Tony.
Who
I
said
guess
this?
people were saying that in his comment section,
In whose comment section?
in Vice Grips. So, you know, people say a lot of things that aren't true.
You know, I watched a live of his, and a lot of trolls in there. And he was addressing the super chats only, and the super chats were all really good. But there was a lot of what I would call trolls in there.
There's people that just like to cause trouble.
That's the truth.
They get up in the morning and they're like, how much trouble can I cause?
And he just ignored it.
Well, it's like that guy who wants to sue me.
Oh yeah, he wants everybody to sue you.
What?
Wants all your
He told
your
people that
viewers
we
to
were
sue you.
suing him, which is completely ridiculous.
The guy.
He's
I-
crazy.
I feel bad for him. You know what I mean? I feel bad for him. I don't know. There's something happened with him. You know.
His mouth's running all the time about how great he is and all his cars he's had and all this. He went downstairs one time and showed everybody a Mustang that was sitting there. What's a generation of Mustang that's between like the new ones and the Fox bodies? Kind of a
The SN95s.
so whatever you call those things. There's one of those sitting there. He says, well, it hasn't run in, I don't know what it is, 3 or 4 or 5 years or something, because it belonged to some relative of his. It's a drunk, and the guy lost his license, and he can't drive it. So that's the car he showed, was a car that's been sitting for years, a non-running car.
The guy,
But he says, all my cars, Don Garlitz has them.
Don Garlitz has his cars.
So
Hawthorne sent you New Zealand $20. He says you're amazing.
Thank you. I have Garlitz's number. I could just call him.
oh my God.
Yeah, they're trolls, Wendy, I know.
Flying saucers, though.
Flying saucers.
Yeah. Yeah, Garlitz is a big flying saucer guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Let's see.
Don Garlitz had a Hemi with a siren attached to it.
Yeah.
Zero says I blame homeschool and those leash kids. No one admits to being a leash kid. I don't know what it is.
What is a leash?
I don't understand why people say things that they just assume, like I don't get that. And then they spread it. Okay, we reconnected for a second.
You're talking about welding, and I wanted to bring this up, but the conversation went on. But now I thought of it again. You were talking about flux core. You were out here doing those heads that day on that big build, and you welded up the
heat crossover.
Did you do that with flux core?
Did it with that?
You did that with flux core.
Yeah.
Of course, that it's plug and haul. It's never going to move, even if it.
Here's the thing about cast iron, right? And this is why I want to do the combustion chamber.
You ever preheat?
No. Here's the thing with cast iron, okay? If you got a crack in your casting, okay, you got a problem. You got a problem. Because when you weld at the rate of expansion, and see here, cast iron, or even aluminum for that matter, but cast iron, right, dissipates the heat. It sucks the heat away from the weld almost instantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a crack that you're trying to fix, just as soon as it knits together, it wants to pull apart again. Which is why they use what they call a cold weld. That's the biggest thing now, right?
They drill up holes and screw and all
Well,
that
that's
stuff.
different, that's pinning.
Yeah, okay.
That's pinning. Cast iron, if you're gonna weld cast iron, you put the casting in an oven, bring it up to temperature so that when you weld it, the heat doesn't have any place to run away from, and you get an actual weld. That's why they do that. Then there's also,
How hot do they make that?
I don't even know, probably 1300 degrees.
Oh, it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then there's cold welding, right, which is where they use a high nickel rod, right, a very high nickel rod, and they weld it cold, and the idea is that the nickel flows into the pores, so it's more of a stitch than it is a weld.
Man.
Okay, but if you're not trying to repair a crack, if you're only trying to add to the casting, you don't have to do anything. You just weld to it. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to add a bolt boss or something to a kit to a.
Can you
to
weld a thing
block.
on there?
I'll just take the welder and just keep doing it, grind it, drill and tap it, and it's done.
Well, you
And it's
got just
done.
enough penetration and it stays there.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And you're adding to it.
Right.
Andy sent
That makes
another $5.
Thank you, Andy.
Hey, Tony.
I've never welded cast iron with any success.
I
And
welded
I
one time.
I saw that. That was pretty interesting.
You should have heard Vice Grip Garage talking crap on his live video. Just kidding.
I know he would
He's
do that.
you know what? That's a class act, and he isn't gonna do that. I know it.
Rude Mopar Dude sent $4.99. Hey, everybody, can we get some insight on the Gambler 500's 383?
I'm gonna do a whole video on 383s. I'm gonna do a whole video on 383s. And, you just give me a little time, because I don't know exactly, like I have a few different directions in my head that I wanna go with, but I want something, wheel speed and sustained RPM is like everything in the kind of the two-wheel drive off-road car. So I'm gonna be building it for RPM. It's definitely not looking for torque. I'm looking for, and stay there. So, but yeah, you're gonna see a lot on that. And I'm excited about it because the 383 literally is like my favorite motor. The 383 and the 340, the two of them. I go one way or the other. But yeah, the 383 is the 383 is a special engine. It's like God had a hand in designing the 383.
Hemi Life sent $20.
Thank you.
Would you agree that Gen 3 Hemi owners aren't changing their oil enough? Going 5,000 plus between changes hard driving, and that is really causing the major issues.
No,
No.
I would not agree with that at all, because I saw comment after comment after comment, dozens of them. People like, I change my oil every 3,000 miles, I use this oil, I only this spec and blah, 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 and all this other shit. And then there's these fleet guys, and the fleet guys, the maintenance guys, they know these engines are trouble prone. They stay on top of the maintenance like it's, like, you know what I mean? Because their jobs depend on this. This shit's gotta keep running. So no, I would not agree with that at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite. I would say that the vast majority of these engines that are seeing the type of use, because people know there's a problem, they go and take the extra step and do the right oil change, right interval oil changes with the right oil and everything else, and they still have this problem.
Do you have one of those lifters here?
I got a bunch of them, right? There's a box of them right there.
Can you reach one? I just wanna look at
Yeah,
it.
sure.
In my hands, like, God.
Boxel Hemi lifters.
Oh, that was rough.
Why was the 383 spec'd at 425 foot-pounds of torque? That's punching above its weight.
Why? I don't know. And it's not punching above its weight. A good, healthy 383 is a thing of wonder and beauty. And more so than the 440. The 383, the shorter rod, the smaller beam journals, just the proportion of it is like, they're magic. They're magic.
This thing rides in the lifter board here, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is this for?
Well, the whole thing, it rides up the board up to here.
Okay,
Okay, that's a reservoir.
how much do you think we could have to drill a hole from here down to the center of that?
I do not know.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, yeah, the same thing that 75 other people in the comments got.
Really? Oh, okay, I haven't read it.
But I don't have time or the inclination to be drilling lifters and babysitting.
Oh, no, it's just, no, I didn't know anybody else had said that.
Let's see. Need metal.
Well, I mean, it'd be an interesting experiment.
Tony,
Somebody needs to do that.
oh, sorry, Buff. Tony, have an oil groove milled into those lifters from undercut to bottom to lube rollers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of different ways to do it, but I have no interest in pursuing it any further than what I did on the video.
Oh, no, somebody could do that.
Yeah,
Somebody that's got the time and,
somebody who's got the
yeah,
time
and the risk.
and the love for one of these engines to actually spend the time on it, then yeah, I mean, and I'm sure there are people who have come up with solutions that are actually viable, but
Just the country boy is gonna get his hands on that green paint. Awesome.
Here, let's put this.
Julius Graham sent $5.
thank you, Julius.
Good day, uncles. What's the benefit of the divider in the black air horn on the carve in the background of your latest G3 Hemi video? Looks interesting.
That thing.
Oh, that's a K&H stub stack.
Stump stack.
Yeah, grab that.
That actually makes sense.
These guys don't miss a trick.
They look at
They look at
everything.
everything. This is
They're supposed to be looking at us and they're looking at us.
this
Right.
is what's called a stub stack. And it fits over. It
Very
Need the horn
professional,
hammer.
Tony.
it's a little warped. Here we go. Okay. So all it does is it fits over the top of the carburetor and it just smooths the airflow into it. And it's probably good for about 25 CFM, 30 CFM, something like that. This is nothing trick. These have been around for probably 30 years or so. But yeah, that's
Here,
a
look
stub
at that.
stack.
Look at how nice that is. You know these stacks that come up and they got a piece of sheet metal across there and they got a
Yeah.
wing nut? That flat thing there can't be doing that any good. You know what I mean? What the hell?
Wait, did you have Mexicans in it?
Somebody did.
What is that?
It's like a jackhammer started running.
I didn't know what's going on.
It's Breon.
What is it?
It's Breon with his mini bike.
Oh, okay.
That's a mini bike?
Yeah.
Sounds like a jackhammer. What's he got uncorked out of the cylinder?
This place is a riot, you know? There's, okay, like a lot of people, they think it's a storage, this complex started out as a storage unit, as a storage place. I've been here for 15 years now, 12 years, 15 years, I don't even know. But, this started out as a regular storage facility. And one by one, it's become like a free enterprise zone. So there's, the guy across from me, he's got he's got like 10 units. And he builds, computer, you know the corporations, they put all their computer screens together and so he makes these giant things per order for, mounting computers in conference rooms and stuff like that. We've got a guy that builds wood tables and stuff back there. There's landscapers in here. There's an air conditioning guy. So there's probably, I don't know, a dozen different tradespeople that all have units like this, and we all do our thing here. And then I've got these guys, Brian and John, and they're actually gonna be helping us with the Game 500 build. And they've got some mini bikes that they've been hot rodding. And I guess he's coming around here now.
I don't know.
That's
Sounds
cool.
like he's having fun.
Yeah, those things hit a lick. So they're out here just screwing around with the bike. This is a really fun place.
Let's see. Office Park meets Skid Row? No. Let's see. I'm thinking of having a Mopar 59, 956 deck Siamese R block 472 built. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I'm reading it correctly. Or you didn't write it correctly for me to read it.
I couldn't make anything
I don't
out of
know.
that.
Okay, sorry. Rewrite that. Let's see. Now I gotta look it up. All right. It's always fun until you shoot your eye out. Go outside. He wants you to go outside. Now he's gone now.
No, he's probably.
Is he over there?
You want to take a walk around?
Are we gonna walk around?
We could.
Walk around outside.
Well, how do we know he's over there?
What's that?
How do we know he's over there?
Because he's making a racket.
I don't know what the picture's gonna be like. If I walk around in the dark, it's not gonna be good.
We'll try it. Come on.
We're gonna go for a walk.
Ask them. Do you want to go for a
Do you
walk?
guys wanna go for a walk?
We'll go walk around on the track, Bobby.
They're not answering me. No answers.
They're ignoring you.
They're all ignoring me. No, I don't think they want to go for a walk.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yes, yes, yes.
Want to
As
go for a
long as-
ride? No, we're not doing it.
It's going to do a wheelie. All right, do you want to go around or no?
Yeah, it's just
All right, come on, let's go for a
300
walk.
feet around the
All
building
right,
over
we're
there.
going for a walk. All right. He's rolling a cigarette, guys. It's a
It's
cigarette.
a cigarette. It's a cigarette. People, Jesus Christ.
We love you. You guys are awesome.
You know
For
what?
real.
You don't
Oh, my
smoke
lighter
those. You don't smoke those stinky factory cigarettes.
No.
This is okay.
All right, come on, guys. Let's go.
Don't forget your bottle of piss.
Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Okay.
Don't anybody drink it. What the hell is this?
I don't know, what is it?
Oh, you know what that is?
Looks like the
This is-
corner of a vice that broke off.
You know what this is? This is the block that Lorna brought down.
Oh,
Let's
that's
not say
good.
that thing.
This is Lorna's block, and this is the corner from it. It
Oh,
was
jeez.
just stuck on there.
All right, come on, guys.
I thought it was a piece of a vice. How many vices I got that's broken?
Oh, it's raining.
Rain.
All right.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I'm going to step in a puddle. Because I can't see where I'm walking. And it's raining. Okay. I don't melt in the rain. That's not nice. Watch out for ghosts. The green duster's at the house, Olive. Hope you're feeling better. Big puddles, big puddles. Okay.
Oh, we were just doing a live over there, and you guys were making a racket.
It's very blurry.
What's that?
It's very blurry without a lot of light.
Because it's dark.
Yeah.
You're on YouTube then.
Oh. I got it done.
Hey, Bird. Guys, this is John and this is Breon.
I'm not up here yet. Nobody can see you. You're just shadows.
Oh, we're just, yeah.
Is there any light
Do we
over
look
here?
sinister?
Your
Should we make gang
silhouettes. Your silhouettes.
Throw 'em up.
Come on, let's
Where's some light? No, it's
yeah,
good
let's
light.
go with the light.
All right, we're walking. Yeah, like the Blair Witch Project, right? Let's see. Where are we going? We're gonna go see what they're doing over here. No, I'm trying not to drop you. Okay.
They make me feel good about the state of my shop.
Yeah, no, we got toys everywhere.
Walk in there.
It's just smaller. Yeah.
Watch out for the tools.
Yep.
What were you guys doing with this thing?
Just letting it rip. I broke the handle on it, so I can't. I gotta order a new one now.
Oh,
So you mind?
Okay, now you can introduce them.
Yeah, no. But I mean, you still grab it one hand, suicide. You know, you still do.
all right. So this is Breon, that's John, and I don't know your name.
Alicia.
Alicia. This is Alicia.
That's my girl's name.
So, and that's your LS. Yeah. See, look, an LS. See, on the Uncle Tony's garage, an actual LS.
6-0.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that's it. I thought you'd be ripping around on this thing.
I mean, you can rip it one time. I told you. We just broke it.
Just now?
Like, that's why I was doing a burnout and broke it.
Oh shit.
That's the sound you heard. I was
That's why the noise.
finishing the back tire. I'm trying to finish the back tire off. It's almost there.
Danny Boyd says tell him to start a channel.
Oh, they don't want this.
You want to
mini
start a channel? I have to start a channel.
bike. They don't want this mini bike.
LS Gen 3? Is
Yep.
it?
Gen 3. They come out of 2006 2500 HD.
And what's this going in?
My C10.
Right. Oh, I love that truck.
It's nice.
Yeah. And then he's got a Monte Carlo.
Got 85 Monte Carlo.
Is the door open?
Yeah, we can
So, you want to see his Monte Carlo?
yeah,
Let's walk out.
we can see that hunk of junk.
Hang on. It's tight in here, guys.
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah.
Sorry about that camera movement.
Still when it goes.
I got sockets at the house
Got the motor for it. About to drop it in. We ain't got there yet. Had a wedding this weekend, so maybe next weekend.
too. And of course, you get your dollhouse.
Yeah, my dollhouse that's important. It's probably older than I am.
Because every shop needs a dollhouse.
Yeah, that's keep it classy.
Yeah.
That's a real race bike.
78,000 original miles
And torn apart like that.
and torn apart. It'd be fun. And another mini bike. This one's ready to go. You can fire this one up.
Yeah, light it up. How many horses is that one?
That's
It's supposed to be 8. But it's got a jet in the car and the exhaust. We broke it, but it got
yeah. We broke the exhaust. We shook it apart. It's a 301, just a Harbor Freight Predator 301 with a stage 1 kit in it. And it moves. We topped this one like 62,
Really?
61. Yeah.
You got that at 61 miles an hour?
Yes. Yeah.
Who's got the stones to ride that thing at 61 miles an hour?
With no helmet on. That's crazy. Who does that?
I'm going back to my shop.
Y'all
I'll
have
see you
fun
guys
tonight.
later.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Do you ride those into town, street takeovers? Cool visit? Awesome. I'm trying not to step in deep puddles over here. It's like a minefield.
It's actually pretty quiet around here tonight, probably because it's raining, but there's usually a band or two playing.
Really?
Yeah.
I lived in Yuma, the house next door, they had a garage band in there several nights a week. Pretty good.
Yeah, there's usually a band or two playing in here.
You're
and,
very blurry. We gotta get into the light.
Psycho, my across the way neighbor over here. He's usually out here hammering, and he'll be out here 2, 3 in the morning. You see this?
No, there's nobody living here, no. They don't let people live here.
Can you see this?
No, it's dark, babe.
It's too dark? All right.
It's dark, you can't see it.
All right, let's go back in there.
Okay.
So you get a good view of your shop from outside. Pretty big.
It's a great size shop.
They took all the walls out. It's pretty. It's nice in here.
Okay. Maybe we can get some picture quality back.
Yeah, my shop's just about like this, except it's got way too much crap.
Couple people.
Way too much crap in it.
Still blurry. All right, there you go. Okay. Let's see. Dodge 4x4 says Newcom cam and slant 6 destroyed the oil pump gear after about 600 miles. Ever see anything like that?
Destroyed the oil pump gear? Did you put a steel gear on there? You'd have, did you put a steel gear on a distributor?
I don't know.
Because I have seen that there was a run of steel gears, because normally the gear on a Sinus distributor is nylon, and there was a replacement, the factory had a replacement steel gear, and then there was a run of aftermarket steel gears, probably, I don't know, 10 years ago or thereabouts, and there was something with those, and they were eating up the camshafts. So, but the stock one is nylon, and there's no way that could ever eat the camshaft.
How long do those last?
He says nylon distributor here.
Your nylon distributor gear did not eat unless the camshafts had a terrible heat treat, but I mean, how could nylon eat steel?
It ate up the gear on the camshaft? Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Let's visit Uncle Duluth's shop, see where he makes clothes.
You want a Duluth shirt?
Blue
Yeah,
Angels.
actually I am, but this is my sweatshirt. It's going for this. Oh, Blue Angels.
Nice.
Oh, I worked out at NAFL Central, which is where the Blue Angels are all winter. And when I left there, some of the guys bought me this shirt. It's pretty cool.
You know, people who are just tuning in like now are wondering why you've got a bottle of piss.
Just filtering it through one more time. You want the story again?
Yes.
I poured Mountain Dew. It was like someone looks like Mountain Dew, but they call it Mountain Lion, but it's Mountain Dew. But I still had a little Coke in here, little Diet Coke. So it colored it a little. It just
The truth is, he had to go, and he's got a tiny little bladder, and that's all you get out of it.
Okay.
urination.
Let's see. What axle ratio is in my 73 B300? Used to be a mini Winnebago.
Oh, is it B300?
Yeah.
Probably 354s.
Oh my goodness. All right.
What's your carry van, Albert? You know.
354s.
Was it?
Drink it, Buff.
Drink it?
Yeah.
I gotta fill it first.
Oh no.
It just tastes like Mountain Dew.
We're gonna get kicked off
It
YouTube.
tastes like chicken.
Chicken, like everything tastes like chicken. You ever eat alligator?
Tastes like chicken.
Everybody said it tastes like chicken. Well,
No,
it,
no,
it
no,
doesn't. No, I really like alligator.
Dodge 4x4 says, camshaft gear and nylon gear were fine. The gear on the oil pump stripped 600 miles after rebuild. Pump was spinning freely.
Oh, the gear on the oil pump. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
See, that's what I got, man, inside the oil, you're talking about inside the oil pump.
There's a, I don't know if I got a Sling 6 oil pump hanging in there.
Is he talking about the pump part of the pump?
Yeah, oh, okay.
Something got in
Little
there.
oil pump. You know, you probably said it right the first time, and I heard it differently because.
Maybe I read it wrong.
Or maybe she read
Yeah,
it
maybe
wrong.
I read
I'm
it
so
wrong.
sorry about that. What would cause that?
Crud.
I don't know. Unless, yeah, I mean, you might have sucked something up into the pump, but I don't know. I would take the pump apart, take a look at the gears. You know, it only takes a little tiny piece of steel, you know, or even aluminum, you know.
Joseph says the pin could have fell out of the distributor here, got into the oil pump here.
No,
No.
that couldn't come out. But I mean, sometimes you'll get like a chip come off a piston skirt or something like that, and it'll migrate its way into the pump and lock. I mean, I've you know.
Good night, old Crony's Garage. Let's see. Probably need to flip the pistons around.
Yeah, you can turn the pistons around and then that fixes all
thing.
things.
Yeah.
This is the dustiest place in the world. I am never doing body work indoors again. It's all gonna get done outside.
This cockamamie show is still going, oy vey.
Boy,
You wanna wrap it up, Tony?
I believe so.
We've been on for 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. Good night, Ari.
Good night, Ari.
Ari's gonna go to sleep. That's it.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up in a few minutes.
All right. Would Tony do a video on a leaking automatic fix, seals, etc.?
I would say John Wilburn, if he's watching, that would be a great thing for him to cover on his channel, because he is a transmission guy. He loves transmissions. He eats transmissions for breakfast. So, John, if you're watching that, there's a good suggestion for a video.
Let's see. Good night, Curtis. I'm bipolar, so I only troll every other Sunday. It's Curtis. You know, Curtis.
Oh, Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Let's see. Send us your reverse pistons now. Somebody's messaging me. Oh. Wait, what? It's Uncle Crystal.
Yeah, I heard from Baron.
Someone
Yeah, what's that
recommends
about?
subframe connectors. Is it worth it for a streetcar?
Say that again now?
Someone recommends subframe connectors. Is it worth it for a streetcar?
I've never installed them on a streetcar. I've had them on streetcars and taken them out, but no, definitely not.
What's the plan for videos next week?
It's a good question.
You don't know what you're gonna do videos on?
Not yet. Definitely gonna do one on 383.
Uh-oh.
Definitely gonna do one on 383.
I have a question
Yeah.
about building engines. Piston ring orientation.
They move around.
See,
They move around.
I've had people tell me they don't move around.
They move around.
So you can put them anywhere.
Anywhere. They move around. As a rule of thumb, what I do is the oil ring. The oil ring is just
Right, the oil ring is.
Make sure that the scrapers are opposite each other because they don't move around.
Okay,
All right.
but the two compression rings, I always put them opposite,
That's what I do.
but they don't stay, they could be lined up in a,
They migrate around. They're always moving.
okay.
When I put the engine together, I make sure that you put the expander on the oil ring, right? The oil ring expander on it. Then you put the bottom scraper on first, and then you put the top scraper on with the gap facing underneath the out.
Yeah,
Then the second ring, I install facing the pin, one direction on the pin. Then I take the top ring and face it the other direction on the pin. But as soon as you start the engine, those rings are moving around. They're all
that's how I figured, how could they not?
yeah.
Maga sent you $3. Aftermarket heads by Bear or assembled?
If you've got a machine shop and you're gonna do your own valve work, your own seats and stuff like that, then buy them there. If you're just gonna stick them on the car and go, buy them assembled, but I would take them apart anyway, just to give everything a good looking and good cleaning.
You gonna document the Hemi build?
Yeah, my friend Al is gonna come, there's a lot of things I'm not familiar with on these engines, so my friend Al Castillo is gonna come down here, he's built a bunch of them, and he's gonna, because there's things with the MDS blog off I'm not sure about. He's much more familiar with the nuances of these engines than I am, so he's gonna come down next week and we're gonna do this.
What's up, Tasman, Atlanta? Let's see.
Yeah. Like,
Tired yawning, Tony?
Yes.
I think we're done.
Tired. So what else you got? You know, one of the videos you did show special tools you used to put a U-joint together.
hammer?
Those were rock. I think you used a rock and a piece of wood.
I used a rock and a screwdriver once, I was 16.
Oh, you did the demonstration on
Yeah.
a video of yours. Is that one still up?
Yeah.
See that? I was one of the first videos I watched yours, and that's when I knew you knew how to work with basic shit, whatever you got. That's pretty good.
It ain't even 10 o'clock your time. What time is it, Tony?
It's like 20 after 9.
Oh, is it?
20:30, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is 9:25.
Yeah, we gotta make it home for Green Acres.
Oh, that's it.
10 o'clock.
The big coffee ran out, huh?
Oh, yeah,
You yawning?
we ran out a long time ago.
Let's see.
Look how filthy this place is.
It's a mess.
Is that from the dust?
We need to take like a month and just clean,
No, seriously.
like for real.
I am never doing any body work indoors ever again.
Yeah,
Good
you have to
idea.
have a big fan or something
Yeah.
to suck this shit up.
It's 3:25 a.m. in the UK.
Nice, nice.
Wow. Get some sleep.
And they're awake watching
Yeah,
this
they're awake watching.
on Sunday night.
Right.
Somebody with shift work.
Let's see. No body work indoors, yeah. It's called a leaf blower to clean. Use a plastic tent.
Yeah, I'll just do it
How about
outside.
a vacuum?
I have a little shop vac. No, seriously, I have see that little shop vac over there? So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just shop vac all of the stuff over the car, right?
That's not enough.
No, it's
Yeah,
blow
shop
off the
vac.
other side.
Oh, it just, it's,
Oh, fuck. I'm walking around the car, right?
so it's redistributing.
Yeah, I'm walking around the car like this, okay? So I got this thing behind me like this.
We're not even in front of the camera.
Sorry, okay. So I'm walking around the car and I'm holding this thing over here and I'm trying to suck up all of the dust. And the car's got dust, this is after I've been standing on it for like 2 fucking days, right? So it's just filthy from one end to the other. So I says, I use the shop vac, right? And I'll get the bulk of it up and then I'll wipe it down and sweep and do everything else. So I'm walking around the car and I'm going like this. And I realize I can't see in here anymore, right?
Yeah, blowing
It
it.
was blowing it all out the other side. So now everything is covered in fucking blood.
Sorry.
Man.
You need cleaning lessons, Tony.
Need a small barbecue?
Anybody need a
Maybe.
small barbecue?
Because I'm gonna throw it out
Tomorrow. I don't put that in the car, at least I could. Is there any, debris in it?
I don't think so. Just dump it out in the gravel.
Yeah, I might take that with
Take.
me.
West Bucket Restoration says I did that the other day with drywall dust.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was being so careful to try not to make a horrible mess, and that was it. I blew it. They were all over the place.
You have to pull everything out of here and power wash it.
Please. Poor bottle rocket. It's like that poor car is just. She can't get a break. Oh, well, she keeps breaking. She can't get. It's always filthy.
Yeah. Needs to go out real fast and blow that shit off.
Even as I took a shower right before, and I gotta go home and take another shower. It's all covered in.
That's what happens to me. When as soon as I take a shower, the very next thing is filthy. You know.
Get a big fan and blow the dust into the neighbor's unit. Let's see. Is Rotella diesel oil better to use in an older car?
I use Rotella diesel oil in everything. Everything. That's my oil of choice. I go to Walmart, I grab it, it's like $13 a gallon, and yeah, I use it in everything.
Willie Munster did the same thing.
Huh?
And it's inexpensive.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's cheap and it works.
Let's see. Tony, ever get your hands on the Yamaha TW200 in the other storage unit?
No. You know, actually, that's the guy Ryan. He was here for a few days, and he's gone. He's coming back, but no, I've ridden the bike.
I heard Rotella doesn't have as much zinc as it did.
It doesn't. They cut back, but it's sufficient to keep everything running. It's not a good braking oil. Do not try to brake in an engine using Rotella. A flat tappet, motor does not have enough zinc for a braking period.
Yogurt
But-
77 needs a thumbs up.
What is it?
Yogurt.
Yogurt, you got is your thumbs up. So yeah, as much as I love Rotella, do not ever try to use it as a braking lube. It does not have enough zinc for that. But after the braking period, let's say after 2,000 miles, 3,000 miles, Rotella all the way.
Uncle Tony's gonna buy Uncle Kathy a new vacuum cleaner.
We've had the same vacuum cleaner
Her
for
vacuum cleaner will die.
17 years, right? It's a joke now, right? I mean,
It
you
is,
understand,
it's an
right? I
ongoing
can
joke.
go right now and buy any vacuum cleaner on earth I want, right? There's no vacuum cleaner that's beyond my fucking soul. But we've had this thing now, it's like a dust devil,
No.
dirt devil, dirt demon.
No. It's not that at all.
What's it called?
You know, I don't even know what it's called.
We moved down here, right? We needed a vacuum cleaner real quick. I ran over to Walmart. But,
No, we got it at Sam's Club.
Sam's Club?
Yeah.
Sam's Club?
What's that little one?
Huh?
The little one?
No, there's one in the house.
Oh,
So it was like the cheapest vacuum cleaner they
It was
had.
$99.
So we grabbed it, and this thing it's been through thick and thin, it's been through everything, and it keeps going and going and going. It's like indestructible.
don't you like stuff like that?
Like we could use a new one because it has its little cracks and things here and there.
It looks
It
hammered.
looks hammered, but it won't stop working.
It looks like it got pulled out of the rubble in Nagasaki, honestly, right? But I can't bring myself to replace it because it works
No, we're
so
waiting for
beautiful.
it to die.
No.
We want to see how long it's going to go.
Geez, my car was built in Hiroshima.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, should we go over with the guy? Oh, man. I didn't know that when I bought it.
Good thing you passed the age of having kids. Who knows what would come out after driving a Hiroshima car for.
Yeah, my oldest son, went over 20 years in the Army today.
Really?
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's how far I am away from having kids. He's 38.
Dodge 4x4 says oil pump gear was worn all the way around, then at one spot was ground flat. I'm thinking faulty cam gear.
No, if it was ground flat, it means that it stopped moving. Something stopped.
Something.
So if you take that oil pump apart, there's something jammed in that oil pump.
Pity about new Chrysler. I might like one of those new Challengers, but I wouldn't dare risk it. It's Olive.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as long as you're aware that it has the problem and you avoid the things that aggravate the problem, I mean, you should be okay. But
Don't sit around and idle.
don't sit around idle.
And that's where the police cars have the problem.
Yeah.
Because they sit there and idle, and idle, and
Yeah,
idle.
if you're stuck in traffic, let's just say, hey, there's an accident, or traffic stop, shut the motor or just rev it up every minute or two, right? And the oil quality, the type of oil that you use, will make a difference only in the fact that whatever sticks to the surface a little bit better, it's a little bit longer lasting, will prolong, it'll delay the negative effect of the thing going dry. But oil in itself is not the magic bullet.
Colleen, 1988 318 cam swap. What 340 roller cam do you recommend for mild build? Just a stock one from my local parts store. Can I reuse the stock 318 lifters?
The 1988 318 is a roller motor, and they're on a roller factory 340 cams. You'd have to go flat tap it. I would not do that. I would just, okay. I know off the top of my head, I can't remember the numbers on it, but the 1968 340 4-speed camshaft. I should know this off the top of my head. The numbers should just fall out of my face, but they're not. 1968 340 4-speed cam. Find the equivalent of that in a roller grind, or have one ground to those specs in a roller and use that in your 1988 318. You will be happy with it. And put it in advance. 4 degrees advance usually.
Okay. Brian's paging Buff. Is somebody paging you? Who's Brian? I don't know. Who'd you give your phone number to, Buff?
Who was it?
Brian? He's sighing.
I have no idea. No, there's somebody texting me, but
Okay.
it was another viewer.
Another viewer.
Matthew Kemper. I'm supposed to go to his place and pick up a 318, but now's not the time. I can't do it right now. It's gonna be a couple months, and he's good with that.
What are you gonna
And
do?
he says he's joking. He's
It's-
joking.
It's a,
Where's
it's a
Baron? I
ball.
don't know.
He's giving it to me.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
And, I don't know. I had the 63 Plymouth, that's just my brother's. Had a poly in it when I was a kid, you know? I really liked it. Yeah, that's nice. I really liked that thing. And I kinda wanted to build a poly.
Yeah, do it, man, do it.
So, there's a poly there. I'll go get in my van and drive up there. But
Max says, I'm 15 and I have my eye on a 71 Dodge Charger with a 318. Your thoughts?
Great cars. I mean, they're my favorite body style out of all of the Chargers. Grab it, go for it. Good luck with it, my friend.
Yeah, I get it. Benjamin C says to get it, so you've got to go for it now. This channel has the most realistic sound effects. 2004 Ram Hemi power steering rack keeps going out on my third. I do have 200,000. She runs strong, but it's just a common issue. Thanks for the lifter vid, was great. Good job.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not very well versed in late model Chrysler products at all. The Gen 3 Hemi is something that we're building, and I'm not familiar with this engine oil. This is my first experience with it, which is why we started doing those videos. Because as I'm learning about the engine, I'm sharing what I'm learning about the engine. But that's really the extent of my late model Chrysler, you know, you're asking the wrong guy.
Thanks, Jupiter Mustang Mike. Mopar, my own personal adrenaline rush.
I thought it was my old pig ain't running.
It's both.
Ah. So it's a class action lawsuit?
no, I don't think it was class action. I think everybody's supposed to say, I don't know. Go watch this clown. He's
I'm gonna have to.
he's off balance.
Who cares?
I wanna know what I'm getting sued for.
You're not gonna get sued.
Breach of contract.
Breach of
You
contract.
haven't signed any contracts. There's no contracts.
And you take the cylinders out and put them on the other side.
What if he can afford like Johnny Cochran? I'm fucked. Get it.
Go ahead, what?
People question.
Oh, I gotta find
He
them.
says-
Hang on, I was just sitting back.
He says, you got this piece of junk in a storage locker. Lock it. He's from South Boston.
So what?
Well, this is a hell of a storage locker, let me tell you. This is nice.
We've had big shops.
I've had huge shops.
We've had
Yeah,
huge
but
shops.
just for,
Right before when we
I
started
mean, when
shooting
somebody says
videos,
that,
we had a
sorry,
huge shop.
And then you see this, it's like, oh, this is pretty nice.
You know, here's the thing, right? The reason I'm able to do YouTube is because of this. Because,
No, we're not getting sued, Benjamin. You gotta clear this up because now people think we're
Okay,
getting
here's
sued.
some troll said that he's gonna sue Tony for breach of contract because, bottle rocket broke. And then it didn't turn into tens yet. The guy's maybe off balance.
I believe he's special. I believe he's special.
Special Brian.
So if you guys are thinking of making a YouTube channel, be prepared for
Oh,
stuff like
please,
that.
Guys, don't think about doing YouTube unless you have a really thick skin. You guys have no idea.
You should see some of the emails we get sometimes.
Oh, please. So what I was about to say was, we've had many shops. We've had some pretty big
Yeah, we had
shops.
some really nice shops.
But to do YouTube, in order, see, I do this is what I do for a living. I'm a professional YouTuber. So in order for me to do YouTube, I can't have the overhead that comes with a shop.
Or
you know,
or
$6,000
managing
month
a
rent.
shop.
Oh my God.
Right.
You can
Anything that
kill
comes in and
yourself
out of a
with big
shop.
shop and
Oh, yeah.
electricity and who knows
And
what
then you
else.
have to have people working for you.
Yep.
Right, yeah,
Which
you
means
can't
have to
manage that.
oversee, and all of these things would take me off the
Oh,
focus
workman's
of being
comp.
able to do YouTube.
Right.
Yep.
So that's why I pared everything down to just this. This is like the bare basics, this is what I need in order to build whatever I'm gonna build, do whatever I'm gonna do.
That's not to say we won't have a different space in the future if we want.
Yeah, at some point, well, the dirt here is the only drawback.
Right.
Because it's gravel outside, so there's always dirt here. I spend half my day just cleaning stuff.
Doesn't look like.
Doesn't look
I
like
think
it,
you
but
blow
it's
the dust
constant.
Well, that's
around.
because he's using a vacuum that's
Right.
pulling it out the backside.
But that is the reason why we do this, because for what I pay for this, I can't even tell you what I pay for this, because honestly, you'd be like, what? So, yeah, for what I pay for this, with electricity included, plus I've got a spot in the back that's
For storage.
80 feet deep
Yeah.
by 25 feet wide, I got my truck and trailer and cars and parts and everything else back there. For what I pay for this is the only way that I can do YouTube and not have the baggage of having to worry about.
Well, there is also a big shortage of shop space. When we lost the other shop because they sold the property, we
Yeah.
looked, and
Yeah. Well,
there's
the shop-
not a lot of shop space in the city.
That's the truth. I have to travel outside of the city, and I
Yeah.
don't want to be outside the city. I like the convenience of being in the city. So what happened was the shop that we were in previous to this was a big shop. It was beautiful, and it was Mid-South Mopars. And the owner sold the whole complex, sold the land and the house and everything else that was.
Gave us a month to get out.
Give us a month to get out.
Oh,
Move.
man.
How many tons did we have to scrap
I
when
scrapped
we left?
57,000 pounds of metal,
Yeah, because we had nowhere to put it.
because I had no place to put it. So.
There was no shop space available. There was nothing. We looked
Right.
everywhere.
But I had always kept a place in here where I had parted cars, I was doing,
Yeah,
I
storage.
had all different units and stuff like that. So I've actually had a presence in this lot right here for 12, 13, 14, I don't even know how long, it's been a long time now. So, once we lost that shop, I grabbed this spot, and that was it, it was like paradise. And I mean, I honestly could not be happier. This is the perfect size, the perfect place. I can come here, I get up usually 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. I grab a cup of coffee, I come here, and I go right to work. So it's like, at that time in the morning, I'm banging on shit, I'm grinding, I'm welding, I'm making all kinds of racket, nobody to bother. This is perfect.
Nobody cares.
And
Nobody
nobody
cares.
cares, yeah. So, yeah, it's good. Let them say what they want to say.
You know, I worked for people, I had business of my own and everything, and I look back, worked for 51 years. I look back and I had a radiator shop, it was about half the size of this place. Worked by myself, and sometimes I had a full-time employee or part-time employee. And I look back, that was one of the most fun times of my life, because my expenses were low,
It's simple.
and the other thing was the time. I was there from 1975 to the early 80s, and the cars I worked on were all those cars from that era,
Mhm.
like this, where there's room around the engine, and I look back and sometimes I wish I could just go back to that, but, you know, you can't turn the time back, but this almost is, because the cars you work on are that era.
Yeah, no, I love this.
It's kind of nice, and this shop,
It's cozy.
yeah.
It's
My
cozy.
shop's
And
the
you
same
don't
type
have
of-
customers coming in and out to ask you questions or,
No.
That's the
No.
other thing.
yeah,
right?
that's the other thing,
That'll drive you nuts in the
having
retail
people
shop.
coming in and out,
The damn phone ringing,
right?
you know. Man, I don't know how I ran a business though. I look back and I go, man, I had a phone on the desk. I had a filing cabinet, and I wrote everything by hand. That was the technology, you know?
I was there.
Man.
I've been in business since I'm 16 years old.
Oh, you and I are, I'm sure, same kind of stuff.
We had our first shop, how old was?
You were 20,
Well, that was when you and I had our first shop.
yeah,
It was in 1980
two,
something. 1982? Yeah. I had one before that with Louis.
before that, no, your first shop was in 1982, your
Right.
shop all by yourself,
Right, that's right.
How old were you in '82?
20,
It was 20.
Yeah, you and I did the same. I was 21. It's 1975. I was 21, and I bought an existing business, and his little tiny one-man shop, and it was fun.
Julie Toilet says it's Daisy wants to throw the phone, yeah. If you're working on stuff, you don't wanna answer the phone.
I don't answer the phone.
You know, the next shop I had, they came out with cordless phones.
Oh, jeez.
You couldn't dial a number yet, but you could receive calls.
Right.
You know, and I'd have that thing under cars with me, and I thought that was great.
Ugh.
Man,
Did I ever tell you the pager story?
a pager story? No.
You remember when pagers were a
Oh,
thing?
yeah.
So,
Everybody had pagers.
I had a
except me.
pager, right?
Except me, yeah, okay.
so I was, this was like 1988, 1989, right? Just about that. So got this like, I'm all proud of it. A fucking pager, you know, it's like, this is like, you know, a yellow pager.
Now you are somebody.
Yeah. So I'm working on a fuel car.
You may have to explain what pagers are.
Oh, maybe people don't know what pagers
People don't know
are.
what a pager is. Before cell phones, we had what they called pagers, okay? So it was a little device, right? That,
You hook it on your belt.
yeah, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, they would dial your pager number, their phone number would come up, and then you would call them, you'd go find a regular phone and you would call them back. I know, it sounds
That
crazy,
sounds
right?
ridiculous.
It sounds ridiculous, but that was like, if you're on a pager,
Go
you were
find the
highfalutin,
payphone.
right? Yeah, like people used to rob pagers because they, you know, and they all had they had them hanging off
Yeah.
the sides of the right, you know, the style.
Oh,
of
I
the
knew a guy had
pager.
like 3 or 4 pagers, you know?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was,
right, exactly.
it's like he was something.
So I'm at a racetrack someplace, and I'm working on a fuel car, and it's like between rounds, and like we're flogging, and the pager starts going off, and I had it was Kathy, it was my home number, and at the time I had little kids, you know, they were babies, and they were like, oh shit. So I'll just ignore this, and I put it back in my pocket, and I go back to work, I'm flogging on the car, and it goes off again, right? I'm like, oh shit, no, this can't be that, and I can't be bothered, and I stuck it back in my pocket, and I go back to working on the car, right? I'm like putting the fucking heads on, we gotta make it to the starting line in like 20 minutes, right? And I'm torquing fucking head bolts, and the thing goes off again, I'm like, fuck! So, I see a row of payphones, remember, we had payphones back then, right? On the concession stand. So I said, I'll be right back. So I'm thinking it's an emergency, right? So I go running over to the fucking, the payphone thing, and there's a line, okay? There's a line.
Mine is a
to the
payphone.
All right? And I'm like, you know, so I got
I
my,
forgot about all this.
Me too.
I'm covered in oil and like nitro stuff, and luckily I got my credentials, my credential holder hanging on my thing. So I go to the front of the line, right? Then I'm like, emergency, I got an emergency, I gotta get in there. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's a fuel racer, okay, let him in there, right? So I get in there, and I dial her number, and she's like, do you think you'd be home tomorrow or the next day?
Is that what it said?
It was something like that,
I
right?
don't even remember.
It was like the next day. I hung up the phone. I walked out of the phone booth and took the pager and I threw it in the stands.
It's been a horrible time.
The back of the stands were right there. And I just took it and won it. I'm sure you had something in the back of the fucking head with it.
Oh, man.
I don't think I ever heard that story, Tony.
Well, you know, at the beginning, doctors ran out of papers.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
Then
more
drug
people got
dealers.
them. So they were important like a
Well, that's when
doctor.
I had it. I had it during the doctor drug dealer phase. You know?
Doctors and drug dealers had them. Oh, man. I never had one. Glad I didn't.
I'm sorry, Tony.
That's okay. I got over it.
I must have been bored home with two little kids, wondering
Yeah,
what
sure
are
you
you
were.
doing?
I was around, they went from to the push button stage on the phone, from the.
Yeah, me too. I remember that.
Oh, man.
Oh, funny.
Did you know how to get around when they had the rotary phones? You remember when shops used to lock the phone? They used to put the lock in the thing so you couldn't buy it? Did you know how to get around that?
No. Or maybe I did, I don't know.
Morse code.
I burnt my doctor's pager out.
Morse code. All you do is, you take, I could probably still do it now, right? Let's say the number you want to dial is like 356, okay? So all you do is take the phone off and you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it dials 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I was like 15, 16 years old, I was pumping gas in a station. And the owner used to lock the phone. And I used to have all my friends come over and make their long distance phone calls or any crazy phone calls like that. Off the phone, I used to just dial all the numbers with the Morse code and hearing the fucking.
Tomo Burns has a
hustler.
rotary phone now. It has a message light on it. Nice.
I was always a hustler.
We know we're getting old when we knew what pagers were. Yeah.
Were you a phone freak?
What?
Phone freak, one of these people that used, there's a thing that made tones that.
No, I never
Yeah,
saw
because
that.
there were people into that. I never was, but I knew people that were.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 70s before there was even that touch tone stuff. It was, everything was still rotary.
Man, I went to Russia in the late '90s, back to rotary, you know.
I got joy buzzard in the spine by my pager once. Everyone thought I got tasered. One thing I don't miss, the pressing keys multiple times to select letters for early texts.
Oh, I remember that too.
Oh, oh yeah, the number of footnotes. I was good at that. I was good at that.
Typing the whole things with your thumbs.
Oh, that's where all the, I don't know,
I type with
all
my
the
thumbs.
abbreviations came from.
Well, yeah, that's right. No, I'm thinking about when you were holding
Oh,
the little flip phones.
oh yeah.
You ever watch the old Star Trek, the original Star Trek?
Yeah.
The guy goes and talks. I'm looking at that and I go, that's all that does? That's like 30 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we've passed Star Trek in a while.
We passed Star Trek.
Okay, we're almost 3 hours in, guys.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up then.
Phone freaks used a whistle out of a Captain Crunch cereal
That's what
box.
it was. It was a Captain Crunch whistle. Somebody on their nose. Yeah, I know a girl that's really into that. She had Captain Crunch whistles.
What happened?
Well, the touch tone,
Right.
the speaker in the phone would
Yeah.
hear that. And that's what,
That's how you dial the phone.
that's how you dial the phone, was with the whistle. And I don't remember how it all worked.
Okay, I didn't know
But
about
she
that.
always called herself a phone freak.
Okay.
She called all over the world for nothing.
No car chases in Star Trek, no. There's a time I could dial faster by tapping than by working the rotary phone. Okay. Remember when Spock got caught checking the Asian doctor's oil? What? What? Okay, we're gonna get kicked off YouTube.
All right, guys. Are we done?
I guess, I don't know, we were talking about what videos you're gonna do next week, so 383.
Awesome yogurt.
You always come up with good stuff. You know, your last one was pretty good because it was the revisited Hemi, and then the one before that was
Well, that's why we make the
Valiant.
videos.
You know, you told me to do a YouTube channel.
You should do a YouTube
I
channel.
thought a lot about it, and I don't know what I can do. You know.
The Adventures of Buffalo Campo. Across the ninth dimension.
Thank you, Rick.
Run out of
Ethan
stories
says,
for you.
thanks for all the great content.
Thank you.
Easily my favorite YouTube channel.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Wendy says, no, don't go yet.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
Well, you want to talk about phones, Wendy? Because that's what we're up to, phones.
Why don't, I have so many cars.
Pagers.
Why don't we take one of my cars, right? And do like a rally, like they have these vintage car rallies and stuff like that. You could do a whole thing. You could start a Buffalo Campo channel. Let's take like my GT, right? Or one of these cars I got laying around here, and do a vintage car rally.
I don't take other people's cars.
Why? Do you realize how many
So
cars I
help
fucking
us
have?
find the car that he wants.
I told you.
But I've already got them.
I
That's the
told
thing.
I know, but he
I
doesn't
borrowed
want
an
to use
airplane
other
one
people's
time.
cars.
Put it in a new hangar because I knew it was safe in there. And then a big snow came up and the hangar fell in on the new airport, on the old airplane. And I had to build that whole airplane. Ugh.
But I don't care. See, there's a big difference. I don't care. I can fix anything you break. It doesn't make any difference. I have stuff that's sitting around and needs to be put to use.
Yeah? He's just staring into the camera.
I'm looking around at what tools you have here. Oh, barbecue pit. I gotta remember barbecue. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, take it.
Oh, you're really gonna throw that away?
I need to clean up. I have too much
You
clutter.
need to clean
I
up.
have too much.
Man, you don't have any idea what clutter is.
Yeah, I
This
do.
is
This is,
clean.
no, this is too much clutter.
Your garage used to be pristine.
I
You
know.
used to keep
See-
everything absolutely pristine, believe it or not, guys.
But that's when I was on nitro.
You could lick anything in the garage, it was that clean. And there was no mess, everything was neat.
I moved from Arizona in a shop that was probably close to 3 times what I have now. And you know how it is when you move into a smaller place. I threw so much away, I gave so much away, and what my shop now is, it's a mess. So much stuff. I gotta make it workable. But that'll go by the house.
Take that grill too.
That's a 63
Dart.
Dart.
Yeah, take it.
Oh, now I gotta have a 63 Dart.
Fine, take the grill.
I like 63s. I like them better than 64s because of that.
You like
grill.
4-speeds? Take that 4-speed over there.
No.
You think I'm joking?
I'm
There's
not
a
gonna
fucking, there's a transmission, there's a,
What were you gonna? You were gonna give me some one time, and I kind of wanted it.
I
What was it?
don't
Oh,
know.
you said you had an HIE.
HEI. I gave it to
HEI.
somebody else, you didn't
Oh, okay. No, it's not.
No, I really, I
I
got
know.
shit I gotta get rid of.
Really, what the best thing right now is that you're giving me 2 grills.
Yeah, grill and grill. Take that 4-speed before I.
Why do I want to
together.
take a foot? No, you may need that.
No, I got too many of them.
You can never have too many 4 speeds. What if you need parts? You know.
I have, there's a parts transmission there, and I got milk crates full of
What
parts
is
back
that
at the
4
house.
speed? What is that 4 speed?
It's an 833. It's a 4-speed. There's little bits for it in the
Price
box over there. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's one laying under here. There's one under
You
your feet.
know, in the dirt under the.
What's your most memorable crash you saw while you were at the track?
No crashes.
The most memorable ones I've chosen not to remember.
There you go.
Yeah, my crashes were airplanes and friends that are gone. I see any car crashes? Probably.
Colleen needs a 318 4-speed bell housing, you have one?
I don't.
Use a scatter
I
shield.
think I have a cracked one that I've used for mock-ups back at the house, but I don't have a good one.
Don't you really should have a scatter shield with
The guy is.
426
No, I mean,
Biggie
somebody
says,
wants a
okay, I'm
bell
on my
housing.
way there, Tony.
you? Somebody wants a
Say that again?
426 Biggie says, okay, I'm on my way there, Tony. He needs parts. Please tell the Oldsmobile story.
Oldsmobile story.
No,
Oh, no.
no. You're still live, yep, we're
Yep.
still live.
No.
You don't want me to tell an Oldsmobile story?
No, there's a specific Oldsmobile.
A specific Oldsmobile.
We need to stay on YouTube.
Yes.
Oh, okay, oh, it's something that's not good.
You want a 318? Take that one over there.
318, that's the one that's broken.
That's what Winter brought down.
No, I want a poly. This guy's giving me a poly, so.
Uncle Kathy, read up. What's up? I'm looking. I don't see it.
See your concern
What are you concerned about?
about the, breach of contract.
Yeah, I'm concerned. That's why I wanna get rid of as much as I can. I
Oh,
want
my
to in
goodness.
case I have to run.
Yeah,
I
we're
gotta
gonna have
on
to
the
go
land.
on the lamb, right?
I gotta
I was
go
just
on the
gonna
lamb.
say.
I'm telling you right now, all I'm taking is that folding chair and the stub stack.
I worked for a guy for a while.
What people don't
Every
realize
piece
is
of-
that's how
every
it's gonna be.
Every piece of equipment he had was leased. You know why?
In case you have to go.
Didn't own anything, he didn't own anything, nobody could sue him, what? No lawyer's gonna go after nothing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm very familiar with that concept.
Tulip Toilet says he's looking for an 833 overdrive out of a Chevy van pickup. Do you have one of those, Tony?
The only overdrive trans I have is the one that's in Bottle Rocket right now. No, I got like, I don't know, I got like 3 or 4 close ratio boxes.
What did
That's
those,
the only overdrive I got.
what did those come in originally?
And that one actually came out of a Chevy van.
Oh,
John says fun stream tonight.
Thank you.
Cult leader UTG.
are you driving your 66 Dart?
I drove it a little bit, but it's all the way in the back. No, I was gonna leave it,
It's a 3 on the,
yeah.
Charles F says you should do a video and show us the hoard in your attic. We were just in there
We don't have a whore in the
yesterday.
attic.
what?
A whore in the attic.
Hoard, not
I
a
hoarded it.
yes,
Hoarded
a
it.
hoard. The hoard, the hoard, not
I
a
thought it was the
whore.
whore. Okay, no, yeah, I don't have one of
Let's
those.
see, you feed her?
He kicked off YouTube. The hoard in the attic needs to be cleaned out. We were in there yesterday.
Remember when Mikey T wanted to give me the slave?
Oh my god. Please.
Yeah, here we go.
Crazy people in the world. I admit to old crimes. It's the sacrament of free 4 speeds. What's the news on a slant 6 build?
The news is, I pulled the Plan Z Dart out of the backyard yesterday, was pressure washing it this morning, and found some rust structural issues that are absolutely not worth doing anything with that car. So, I scored a Plymouth Valiant, a 70 or a 71 Valiant, whatever the hell year it is. But I'll have that here Tuesday, and we're gonna put the Slant 6 in that car.
What's the one that has the structural issues?
That one little with the Swiss cheese, I told you about this.
I mean,
Well,
2-door,
pressure
4-door, what?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I know the story. What was it?
69 Dart,
It's a 69 Dart.
yeah,
2-door, 4-door, what?
2-door. But I'm gonna use,
Hardtop.
yeah,
Wow.
Car's a mess.
car's a mess. So,
Just bomb it out, let's pull some molds off of it, make a fiberglass.
well, you could if you want.
Man.
But
I love fiberglass.
I'm gonna use the body panels to fix the GT.
Oh, okay, so you got useful.
Yeah.
Let's see. You gonna do a video on it?
On which?
The I guess Plan Z is talking about.
Yeah,
Dart.
we should. Well, we'll do that when we pick up the car Tuesday night. The new-
Oh, the new car?
Yeah,
Alright. Are you
My
gonna show the
biggest
damage?
I'll show the damage, yeah.
And my biggest regret, selling my 69 Dart. Man. Just a slant 6 Dart.
It's not fixable.
Not worth it.
No.
Absolutely not worth it. If the rest of the car was nicer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then yeah, it would be worth it, but no. Because I have to fix that, I've literally gotta cut that quarter of the car out, not the quarter panel, the quarter of the car, and graft a new one in, and it just absolutely is not worth it. I got a rolling, ready to, well, it's rolling, complete Valiant, 71 Valiant. I just scored that today, and I'll pick it up on Tuesday night, and that's the car we'll put the Sun 6 in.
And somebody caused that by putting bags of salt back
Bags of groceries
That contain boxes of
there.
salt.
Oh, box.
that disintegrated
Multiple
over the 20 or
boxes
30
of
years
salt.
that they sat in the back of it. And I thought that I had, when we originally built the car, I had cut out all of the rotted metal, all of the obviously rotted metal, and welded in fresh stuff. But for the last 4 years or so, the car's been sitting. Sections in front of that tie the leaf spring and the rocker, you know where the front leaf spring bolts in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That whole section where the leaf spring mounts to in the front is all crumbly. And the quarter panel is buckled.
I hate crumbly shit.
John says Buff could build a chassis for Plan Z.
Now, I got this Valiant, it's a rolling car, I just gotta clean it up, maybe throw a quick coat of paint on it, and we're gonna use that.
Tony needs a duplicator chamber to make a couple copies of himself for all the projects.
It keeps me busy,
Keeps you busy.
it keeps me busy.
You don't want to pare down projects?
No, I want more projects.
Okay.
That's the problem with getting old. Every day I think of more shit I wanna do.
Then
And
you
every
gotta do
day
it.
I have less time.
Bullshit, right now you could be working on something, you should
Yeah.
be working on something.
I actually am.
Look at Garland's. What, he's 88 years old now?
I don't know.
87, 88?
I just watched him demonstrate that siren.
Dude works, he gets up in the morning, every morning, before the sun comes up, and he goes to work, and he hammers away all day, every day, and look at him, you know what I mean? He's in, look at Karabazinis. Kara's the Greek,
They can't hear you, they're saying.
the Greek, he's 89 fucking years old, still driving his top fuel car. You know,
Man,
guy's a horse, you know, and that's what it is, man, you gotta keep moving, you gotta keep doing stuff where you get old and you die.
Let's see. What's your plan for the four-door car you bought a couple weeks back?
I'm gonna leave it alone,
that's a 66?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's,
It's such a survivor. It's such a princess. You know, it's even got the Serta card. I should do like.
I saw that.
Yeah,
It was tucked into this
Yeah.
little place there, yeah.
yeah. No plan for that other than I sanded down that quarter panel, the passenger side quarter panel was all jacked up and shit, and I sanded that down to bare metal and I primed it. And the only thing I'm gonna do with that car is I'm gonna go to a paint shop and I'm gonna have them match the color that's on the rest of the car, with like the right amount of fade, and I'm gonna paint that one quarter panel and just leave it alone. I love that car, it's perfect, it's stock, it's just.
You know what you do with that car? Maintain it.
That's it.
Just maintain it.
Hello from Morristown, East Tennessee. What's up, just a few?
You know what a car like that is? That's a priceless artifact.
Priceless artifact.
It's a priceless fucking artifact.
I saw how fast you paid that guy. That's a good video.
I love that car.
Kenga Ziru says, I'm in the process of building my first engine and I've been watching and learning so much from your videos. Thank you.
Thank
Awesome.
you. I'm glad we could be of service.
Is it a 170 or a 225, that
Which?
car? The,
It's 225.
yeah. Okay. We're over 3 hours.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, some nights it goes pretty easy.
Yeah, talking about beepers and.
You know what's nice in here?
You like it in here, right? This is where we're.
The
this
sound
where-
is a little better in here. We don't have the traffic outside so much.
I think this is where we're gonna do our lives
And
tonight.
you got a lot of stuff around it.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times tonight you pick something up?
Well, I'm saying the house is crowded. You know, it's tight.
And the
You know,
dogs
it's like the
barking.
house and the dogs and everything else. And the parking lot isn't nearly as comfortable as this.
Parking over there is because it's a cul-de-sac, it's,
Yeah.
all the driveways come together. It's tough.
We'll do our lives here from now on. And remember, guys, these spaces are for rent. So the next year, beginning of next year, we've got bare walls over there, bare walls over there. These banners are coming down. So all of this stuff is for rent. If you know anybody,
You know what I don't see?
What?
Your whiteboard.
Oh, your whiteboard. That's at the house.
We don't have a whiteboard. She has a whiteboard.
We have a
She has a
whiteboard.
whiteboard.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming to hang out.
John, Ari,
We
Fubar,
appreciate
Armand,
you.
thank you, everybody who contributed Super Chat. Thank you very much.
Vice Grip Garage.
Vice grip garage, yeah, Derek, I have no idea what these frickin' ding-dongs are talking about. Who's the
Anything
other-
else? The lawsuit?
The lawsuit, yeah, coming at me.
Brian, come and get me.
Uh,
I better be careful.
Dolchik and the Dino and the swapping pistons challenge.
Steve, get a hold of me, you know how to get a hold of me. Well, I mean, you wanna do a challenge, let's talk about it. And, that's it, right?
I think that's it.
Okay,
So we'll see you tomorrow.
yes, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys. Thanks so
Good night.
much. Have a great night. Uh-oh, I can't close it. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
We're gonna be on forever.